Silence, please. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Episode 6 of the ACKS Imperial Imprint actual play campaign, the Grey Brotherhood. 30 years ago, we were comrades at the West Point Wargames Club. Now we've come together again to play Adventure Conquer King System Imperial Imprint, or ACKS II. ACKS II is a new edition that'll be crowdfunding next month. In prior episodes of the show, I've been doing verbal recaps of each episode, but going forward, we're instead going to share a link to a Google Doc that records the annals of the Grey Brotherhood. The annals are being written by Jonathan Oldenburg, author of Tears from Iron, who is currently playing Gwynfor in the campaign. Anytime you need a refresher, you can just check the link in the description to review everything that's gone before. Also, Jonathan's book is currently on sale on Amazon, so be sure to check it out. Now, as we plunge into episode 6, I wanted to make a note that in most of our sessions, we've been running with only partial attendance. If this were a YouTube show, obviously we wouldn't run with only part of the cast, but this isn't a YouTube show. It's an actual campaign that just happens to be on YouTube. And in my recent episode of Arbiter of Worlds, I advised GMs who wanted to run a long-term campaign that the game has to go on even when some players are missing. So I take my own advice, which is why for the last 2 weeks we've played without Grant, and this week we're starting without Newton, who'll be joining us a little later. Castinus, over to you.
Okay, so we are finishing up all the purchases, the healing, and the prep for Inside on us for prep for movement back to turostem.
Yep.
I've made. I will put in the chat the updated equipment purchase and the updated healing purchases. I did make small changes to what I put in last time, but the what I'd like to propose to the group is that because we now have 5 characters in full plate on our movement back, what I think we can do is we can rotate riding in the cart those that are, with those in full plate, so that it would be 3 in, 2 out, so that we could keep the encumbrance level for each individual character pretty low. So hopefully we could speed up the movement. Thoughts? Or we could go slow and have everybody just walk in their full plate.
Point of information, Alex.
Yeah.
With the endurance ability, does Higlak need to hop in, or can he continue to move at full speed? When I'm looking at it, it basically says he can force march for a day without penalty. Characters with endurance may also run for a number of rounds equal to 3 times their constitution. Is that going to be his movement?
So let me give an example. So normally your movement is 60, but you can force march without penalty for a day. So you could move at 90. So you could keep up with someone whose move is 90, for instance. So yes, I think is the answer. But so to be clear, if you're in plate and you're riding what you're going to do, you're going to ride in the cart, Sean?
What I was going to do is I was going to rotate 3 in the cart. So that 3 would be in full plate, 2 would have their plate off while they're marching.
And 2 would have their plate off while they're marching, so that you can maintain the pace of the cart rather than be slowed to 18 miles per day. Right?
Exactly.
Okay, because a cart on the road could go 24, a soldier in plate can only go 18 on the road. Okay, makes good sense.
And with Castinus driving, he also gets a bonus for the cart movement. So that
I factored that in. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, great. So if you look under PCs, I've created an entity called Party Stash. If there is equipment that your character is carrying that you would like to leave on the cart or the mules or any other such place, go ahead and move it to Party Stash. The reason to do that is that encumbrance is automatically calculated by your character sheet. And so you might be moving slower than you need to be moving if you move some of those items onto the Party Stash. So for instance,
rations, military oil, like I've got rope, spikes, mallet, small hammer, stuff like that.
Okay, and one thing I just noticed, because I just moved my great axe over to the party stash, is that it did not delete it from my character sheet.
Yeah, you have to delete it separately. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Higlak, while we're talking about you, the captured kobold sword and the captured crossbow, go ahead and delete those from you also.
Roger that.
So, Alex, with the updated purchase, we've got 2 mules pulling the cart, and then I purchased, and then we upgraded the donkey to a 3rd mule, and then I put it to the group. I suggest we buy a 4th, because ultimately, when we go into the forest, back into the temple, we will have to be all on foot. And for exfiltrating, probably wounded, and loot, I think it would be good to have 4 donkeys for that. Or, 4 mules. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm good with it.
And are you thinking, kind of like we chatted about, the first thing we do when we get back into the temple is go to the abandoned lair, make sure it's clear, and store the donkeys there. I'm sorry, the mules there while we explore. Okay.
I presume that at least for some of the exploration, Jenna, like while we're walking, we could switch them off. For the exploration, I would say that, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, that if a character is not holding a torch and not holding a weapon, they could escort 2 mules probably relatively safely inside, as following the party.
That would be fine. If they had animal training, they could escort 6.
So then what that would mean is that Jenna and Zapir, when we get inside, Jenna and Zapiros would be probably just escorting the animals.
Makes sense.
And they wouldn't be holding torches, is that correct? Did I understand that part?
Well, then what we could have is I planned to take the lantern, and then we could have at least a torch with Ravila, and maybe a torch with Zeodana at the beginning too. So we would have 3 light sources. I also purchased an additional lantern for the party here. Alex, you want to put that in the Discord or the chat here? Which is
put it in the chat here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going through your inventories right now, and I'm moving people's rations over to the stash. Because there's no particular reason for you guys. You've never once stayed in the dungeon for overnight, so there's no particular reason for you to be carrying a week's worth of food on your bodies when you go into the dungeon. You can absolutely just pack that on.
I'm just going to go ahead and knock on wood. As Alex just said, we've never once spent the night in the dungeon because, of course, now that we don't have any food with us, we're going to end up spending the night because we're trapped.
Ah!
Okay, there's the healing. And here is the gear.
And what did you guys do with the 930 pounds of healing stuff?
We sold 15, the max that we could sell of the wound wort, and that will also, I calculate so that leaves us with 78 remaining. That comes out to about 13 stone. That's one of the reasons we have to get a 4th mule, is to carry that.
Got it.
We can sell some of it in turostem, and naturally we can take some of it with us too.
Is there like a bank, like a safety deposit box equivalent? Maybe we could open with Aporos. Is that his name?
Arapos,
the merchant. Arapos.
Yes.
Where we could,
there
where
are
we could perhaps
absolutely
store some of those stuff.
There are banking systems and safety vaults and all those things. Yes.
I mean, because potentially we won't need all those healing herbs to heal. We won't need 93 pounds of healing herbs on a single foray. So if we bring 5 pounds or whatever would be a reasonable amount, and vault the rest of it. to either sell or use in the future.
Yep.
That might be an option.
Well, I mean, I think what we'll do is we can probably sell the max at each town that we come to until we get to a comfortable level.
All right. So who's taking the military oil?
Well, I was going to put it on the part of that is some of the characters we didn't delete it when we used it last time. So
That's right. You guys did throw a bunch of oil.
Yeah, we threw a bunch of it. I said, like, if we put 5 back in there, there should be 5 remaining.
Yep.
Like one for Zappiros, one for Jenna, or maybe 2 for Jenna. I know Avarice has one, and then anybody else wants one.
I mean, keeping in mind, I think wasn't one of the ideas that Willie had at one point was having on the mule, and Zappiros could just kind of grab him from the mule and toss as much as needed.
That was, in fact, something that Willie suggested. Yeah.
He's also going to have
good option.
He could carry 2 of them, and I also got some darts, and he could probably carry some of those too.
Okay, I've got Mandonio has been given the short bow and arrows.
And a backpack.
And a backpack. Okay.
Well, I just realized. Oh, never mind. I retract. Go ahead.
Okay. Mandonio now has.
There's a typo on the comfrey. That's 10 comfrey.
Okay.
The most that I could get.
Yeah. All right. And then let's see. So. Who's carrying the manacles and the butchery tools, or are those going on the cart?
Those are all party stash.
Party stash. Okay. Did you put them there, or should I do so?
Go ahead, put them there. I did not put them in yet.
Okay.
It's a good thing we have 3 people with plate mail guarding the party stash. That makes me really nervous.
I don't get it. Why?
Putting all of our eggs in the one basket. Tyrenius is just feeling very cautious after what happened to him.
Poor Tyrenius.
Don't worry, he's got a small buddy to help. That's his emotional support imp. Right?
That's right.
Yes. Don't worry. I've got it. All's
They
good.
take in the form of a cat.
Okay, 3 manacles. And then we need to have the oils. So we said the oils are going to go on the stash, and what's his name is going to throw them?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And very good. Okay, and then who took the lantern and lantern oil?
Those are just in the party stash. They
Got it. Backup lantern.
They will probably go to Jenna.
Okay.
Eventually.
All right. Party stash for now it is. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Manacles, lantern. Crossbow bolts and case. Who were the crossbow bolts and case for?
Those are for me.
For you. Okay. So do you need those on your sheet, or do you?
I do.
Okay. So Castinus. So you have a crossbow on your sheet, but
yes.
you do not have bolts listed. So we gotta get you some bolts. All right, done. Okay. And finally, arrow top off, backpack for Zappiros. Okay, so Zappiros needs a backpack. All right.
And 2 metaphora that are sized for 100 gold pieces each.
I saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's smart. Sean has clearly read the rules and is like,
He always has been a master of stuff, so
It's logistics. It's logistics. It's like,
absolutely.
I just want to do all the
My hat.
calculations, like do all the logistics, and be like, all right, guys, we'll see you later. Higlak, does your character have the magic sword factored in for his?
Yes, he does now.
Sweet.
Yes.
I want to take a look at that.
Yeah. Okay, I've got everything on the party stash now. So you have a total of, it looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, about 13 stone in stuff on your party stash. So not too bad.
Is there also the healing, the wound work?
That's right. I haven't put those on there. That's what I was missing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So can you just read aloud to me so I don't have to keep jumping back and forth?
Sure.
What did you buy in terms of the healing herbs?
Yep. Number 1, 4 horsetail.
Okay.
1 aloe.
Okay. Hang on one sec. I'm still on 4.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Aloe, you said?
1 aloe.
All right.
$10 comfrey.
Okay. 1 aloe. 10 comfrey. Okay. Okay.
2 blessed thistle.
Okay. Got it.
3 birthwort.
3 birthwort. How many blessed thistle?
2.
2. Okay. Okay. 3 birthwort. Yep.
1 goldenrod.
Okay. Yep.
And 1 healer's chest.
Okay. One healer's medicine chest.
Yeah, medicine chest.
Yep. Okay. Got it. You guys are all set.
I've got approximate numbers for where our totals are too, Alex. You want to go through those real quick?
In terms of a stone, you mean?
No, in terms of gold pieces expended versus remaining.
We don't need to do that now, as long as you know the number. Yeah,
I got it.
I trust you.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right, I have to put the butchery tools. That's the only thing I'm missing.
Is that for like harvesting bear, for example?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So both Ravila and Zapiros, and I think Tyranius also can harvest those monster parts.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Yeah.
So one thing we talked about last session was whether Tyranius wanted to join the Tower of Knowledge, and
Yes.
after consultation of the Oracle, Tyranius pondered on it and decided he would apply.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to look it up in the rules and see if there's anything specific about the Tower of Knowledge, just to see if it shed any light on it. So
They're
I
in
didn't see
the rule.
anything.
The rules are in the judge's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right.
I didn't
So
get to that, but anyway, yeah, he would go ahead and apply.
all right. So you must be a citizen of the Arran Empire. You must be able to cast spells. And you present themselves, pay an application fee of 10 gold pieces, and then there's a waiting time of 1d4 weeks. So you have paid your application fee and are now waiting to be interviewed.
Would you like me to roll that, or do you want to roll that?
I'll roll it. All right. So they have told you to come back in 4 weeks.
We'll probably be coming back.
Yeah. You're like, okay, no problem.
So not to heal any mortal wounds this time.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. By the way, Sean, you need to shave.
Oh, I forgot to write down shaving kit. Yes.
Ah.
Oh. Can I add
Absolutely.
8 gold pieces for steel mirror and shaving kit?
All right.
That's right.
Very good. Very good. with those logistical matters addressed, it is the 6th of Zigilin, which is the last month of spring or the first month of summer, depending how you want to count it. I guess it's the last month of spring. So it's the 6th of Zigilin, and you can set off back towards turostem.
So I think what we've talked about is let's get back there as quick as we can. We can stop in turostem, sell a couple more things, grab a couple of rations, and then back in.
Perfect. Okay.
Do it.
All right. So the first day passes uneventfully. The weather is fair. The skies are overcast but not raining, and you make good progress on the road. Nothing particularly molests you. You encamp for the night and follow your SOP for setting up camp and all those things. All right. But your shifts are not interrupted. And you awaken to a day. The clouds have cleared, and it is a bright blue sky with a cool breeze. All right. So you have made very good time today. The sun is beginning to wester behind you when you see a covered wagon pulled by 4 heavy draft horses trotting down the road. The wagon has a single driver, a large man in chainmail with a shield on the seat next to him. And he holds up his hand to flag you over. So he sees you guys on a cart with 4 mules, right? And then a bunch of you.
So there's just one of him?
Unless there's people in the covered wagon, you see one man.
I'm just like, well met.
He says, well met.
What
Where
news?
do you head?
We head to turostem. What news from there?
Sitting shield, the equivalent of sitting shotgun. That's hilarious. Yes. He says, nothing much has changed. Continued problems with the beastmen raiding the roads and the villages. Although I did hear a rumor that the brigand Drusus was killed.
That's true. We are the band who killed him.
Are you?
The Grey Brotherhood.
Okay, give me a reaction roll, Sean.
Okay.
How'd we do? 11. Wow, you are so good. Okay. So, all right. He says, all right, well, that's an impressive feat. I suspect there's a lot of bandits and brigands that aren't too sad to see old Drusus go. He was monopolizing the territory from what I've heard. You hear a snicker from inside the covered wagon.
Did you know the brigand?
Well, me? No, definitely not. Well, I won't keep you. You look to be a powerful and well-armed group. I'm sure you'll be safe from the sort of highwaymen that might prey on the weak and innocent. Cheerio. Yeah. He goes trotting off down the road.
Okay.
We
live in a world of probable cause. But
Guilty. All right. So
Yeah.
you camp out for the night, and nothing in particular of interest happens while you're resting. And the next day, you continue your road towards turostem. You're about 6 miles from turostem when you see a group of dwarves trotting towards the road as if they've come from the forest. There's 12 of them, And they have slung on their backs a large number of sacks or packages of some sort.
Okay.
We'll lay low.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I mean,
gonna get on
you're
the
on
other
the,
side of
you're
the
on the
cart.
road in a cart, like they can see you. Yeah.
I know. I'll make sure I'm walking on the other side of the cart.
Okay, you're on the other side of the cart. Okay. So they come
Oh,
trotting forward. Anybody going to say anything?
Yes. Stop and hail them.
All right. So you
Well
stop
met.
and hail them. The dwarves look you over. Give me a reaction roll.
Hey, all right.
Oh, wow. Great roll. Okay, another great roll. All right. So the dwarves say, well met, human. Are you a merchant by chance?
No, we're the Grey Brotherhood.
They kind of look at each other. My apologies. Your fame has not reached our ears. We're furriers. We've got a large bundle of furs we've captured in the Viespen forest we're trying to offload.
Tell us what rumors? What have you seen in the forest?
So they kind of look at each other, and then the leader kind of whispers. He's like, "Tell him." The guy steps forward and he's like, "This is what I heard. Elves still live in the forest there, and they've gone feral, and they crave nothing more than the flesh of man. It's not beast men, it's feral elves." And they all nod.
I see. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. We've just traveled the road from Saidanos, and our travel was uneventful. It was clear. If that is your destination, we wish you good luck.
Wonderful. Well, thank you and well met again. They go trotting off on their way. Okay.
I will bite my tongue because I'm trying to be good. But I'll note to Cassius, don't I recall you saying that furs have a positive market value in Ciudadanos?
Um,
And yes, it's +1.
yeah, maybe so, but we're not. If we were
I don't know.
going that way,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But we're kind of maxed out right now.
If
Fair enough. I just thought I'd bring it up in case it sparked some sort of ingenuity.
Good point.
you're going to Ciudadanos, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. You have 9. You said you had 93 pounds worth and you sold 15 pounds worth. So you have
Correct.
You have 78 pounds of wound. All right. A lot of stuff. Okay. Well, you've reached turostem. The fort looms up on the great hill above you. Did you want to go into town, or did you want to go up to see the Legate, or are you just going to head to the inn and crash before going to the forest? What's the plan?
What time is it again, Alex?
Yeah.
It's just around sunset.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is this the 8th?
I guess it's a little bit earlier than that because you've only gone 3 of your 4 hexes, so it's perhaps 3 p.m.
Is this the 8th of Ziglin?
What's that?
Is this the 8th of Ziglin?
Be, so you were on the road. You started on the 6th, then the second day was the 7th. So this is now the 8th of Ziglin. Yes.
Awesome.
I would say bathhouse, and then Traveler's Inn.
Okay.
You want to try to deposit any of that?
I'm gonna see him tomorrow because I have to pay
okay.
back. Yeah, because I have to pay back the loan, and we're also gonna cash in some other stuff. And it'll be. I basically sold everything that I could sell inside Auto, so now it's good to be here and sell some more stuff.
Got it. Okay, so you reached the bathhouse. You cleaned yourselves of the exhaustion of travel. Soak up the warm water, then hitch over to the frigidarium to close your pores and strengthen your soul. Afterwards, it's the dry room where the warm heat recharges your energies, and then off to the inn for food. And the innkeeper welcomes you warmly as you enter, and he says, "My friends! The men who pay debts. I've had other customers who haven't paid lately." I kid.
What news from the forest?
He says, "News. Oh, well, I've heard a rumor. It pains me to say, but apparently it's the dwarves of Azenradok that are actually behind the problems we've been having of late. Dwarves have been spied in the Viaspin forest."
That sounds very probable.
I see.
Yeah, I think they've been driving the beastmen out of the forest down into our land so that they can claim it. I bet there's probably a gold mine in there or something. You know how those dwarves are, always hungry for gold.
I see. Well,
That's
thank
definitely
you.
true. The
So
spoiling the
for
forest and everything else, just in their greed.
So for a party ultimately of 14, I think we kind of it's probably going to be the courtyard for us tonight.
He says, of course. He says, he looks at your numbers and he says, "Why don't we call it 5 gold for the courtyard food and drink?"
Okay.
With a gravelly voice, I look over. "Please tell me you have some ale. None of this wine nonsense. I've been on the road for 3 days. I need the man's drink."
He kind of grimaces. And he says, "I'm sorry, we don't usually serve your kind here. But I can give you some spiced Chrysaean wine, put hair on your chest."
As long as it's better than the water you've been serving recently.
"Oh, it's much less watery." And he whispers to the barmaid, "Don't water it." All right. So the barmaid brings you out then a bottle of warm spiced Chrysaean wine, as well as some fresh cooked spicy pork sausage, and fried eggs with salt and pepper for all of you, and pickled beets. So you
It was
settle
Felix
down.
Candidus who said, "Ale is an antidote for any ill, from grief to pain to boredom. Of course, it is the cause." Wait a second, I lost my thought. "Of course, it is the cause of far more ills, but that's a different conversation."
The barmaid looks at you and she's like, "Is this Felix a friend of yours? Are we getting another coming?"
No, Felix lived, probably about your grandfather's age.
Oh, wow. You elves really do live forever, huh?
Not as close to it as we'd like.
Wow. So are you like 80 years old?
82.
Wow. She wanders off. Very
The imp
impressed.
goes, "His life isn't the only thing that's long, if you know what I mean."
She turns back and she's like, "Who said that?" The imp vanishes underneath your robe. Amazing. Okay. You want to progress to the next day, or do you wish to seduce the barmaid?
Humans live such short lives, it's not worth the effort.
The imp is like, "Seduce the barmaid, seduce the barmaid." All right. Mandonio says, "My friends, if I had known you were taking me to such splendid establishment, Mandonio would have brought more coin in order to entertain the women folk. Might I borrow some?"
Yes, that's fine. He'll probably carouse the rest of the night.
All right. So you give him a couple coins, and
Yeah.
and he says, "Beautiful barmaid, Already I have forgotten your name because it has been driven away from my mind by your touching beauty. But if you remind it to me, I will shout it out loud in the upper chambers. And he goes running off towards her. He gives you a thumbs up, Castinus, for being a great boss. Haraeus says, I can't believe we're consorting with that sort. He's the lowest class of mercenary scum. Geneville's like, I don't know. I think I'm lower class.
Tiglac will look at both of them and go, class, please.
Jenna looks very insulted, and she's like, Are you was that like a double entendre because I don't have a class yet? I'm learning, I'm training. She's very offended.
It's because you people think class matters. Ugh. Only thing that matters is good ale and good fighting.
Humanity is such a divisive race. They argue for the pleasure of it and fight over any petty provocation. It is this truth more than their fleeting lives that dooms them.
I don't fight really very much.
You're wrath said that.
I don't really fight a lot, says the Pyrrhus. Pass that spiced wine, though. I think that would help me clear my sinuses.
With a constitution like that, he'll probably put him under the table.
Yeah, well, that's too much. Just a little bit, yeah. Ravilla's like, I'll take what he didn't have. Hey, there's Raymond. Welcome. All right, so we'll advance to the next day since you wanted to go do some shopping and things on the following day. So that'll make it the 10th.
Yes. So back to
no, sorry. Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th. I think just some really quick ones. Selling 5 wound wart, what I can do, and selling the last prism. So 50 and 50. So a total of
100.
Excuse me.
Yeah, 100 DP.
Yeah, for 110 for the venture.
Because of your venture bonus. Yep. Very good. Okay.
And then I'm going to go and visit the next to the merchant.
Okay. So you want to go see Arapos Karanos?
Yes.
Okay.
And the deal that we owe him 333, but he already has 300 in collateralized stuff from us. So what I'd like to do is to repay all of the gold and have him keep our cart for we'd like to leave the cart with him for about a week.
Okay, so Arapos, he's glad to see you, and he is exceptionally pleased when you pay him back for the loan. So are you basically going to give him the 33 GP and just let him take the collateral?
No, we were going to let's completely pay back the loan.
Got it.
But I want him to still keep those valuables on deposit and the cart.
Okay, understood. He says, of course, I'll see to it that these are stored and bill the warehousing costs to you. Not an issue.
We're good.
Anything else you guys want to do today?
The last assumption is that we've got a week's worth of iron rations for everybody on the team. I've made that assumption with what we have. If we don't have that, that would be the last purchase.
Okay. So since we now have everything in the party stash, we can actually tell. And it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. You have 10 weeks worth of iron rations. So you need to purchase 4 more sets of iron rations.
Okay.
So I will update your thing, and you will now have a week for everybody. Okay. All right. So you now have a total of 20 stone. So I assume you've got that kind of split up amongst the mules.
Yeah. So now everything. So now from here on out, the everything is just divided between the 4 mules.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, that only took about an hour. That was an ancillary activity. Let me pause there for a second. In ACKS II, because there's so many domain activities you can do and downtime activities you can do, the rules offer a mechanic to figure out how much you can actually get done in a day. And each day you can do one dedicated activity, which is like an 8-hour workday, and then you can do 4 ancillary activities. If you try and do the 4 ancillary activities on top of your, for instance, let's say you dedicate your activity to traveling, and then you also want to use the 4 ancillary activities traveling, you can do that, but then it's forced marching and you're fatigued the next day. Normally you do one dedicated activity, and then the ancillary activities are things like shopping, training, praying to your gods, things like that. So you used one of your ancillary activities to handle this morning's sales.
While he's doing that, then I'll be studying my
Yeah. Studying. You
My
do
full-
your hour of magic study
Yeah.
that's required from you every
Yeah.
day. Yeah. Okay. So you now still have 11 hours in the day left, essentially, if you'd like to set out.
Anybody else got anything else?
So for the ancillary activities and similar stuff, where would I look in the rule book for that if I wanted to read up on that a bit more?
It is in the introduction and under the basics of the game. It's explained.
Okay.
So you'll find it there, and then you will also find it elaborated further at the start of the campaigns chapter, where it says activities during the campaign.
Perfect.
And that has a complete list of all of the various things you can do. For instance, as an ancillary activity, you can buy equipment, you can inspect a company of troops, you can pray to your deity, you can supervise loading or unloading of merchandise, you can oversee troop training, etc. So the reason those rules got put into place is when you start to have a lot of activities that are occurring that are non-adventuring activities, there's a temptation for every player to assume that their character is a hyper-focused workaholic who's on Adderall and can accomplish 10,000 things in 10 minutes every day. And of course, in real life, it's not like that. So we put a structure in place that controls what you can actually get done in the day.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys want to head northwest, or do you want to head north along the road and then west? Either way will get you to where you're going, but it just depends on the route you want to take.
So
I've always done north by the road.
I think, can everybody make sure that everybody's hit points, I think, are all back?
Yeah, everybody's back to max hit points.
Okay.
I did some thought about march order, and I'm going to paste it in the chat. And I
Great.
think this probably makes sense for both in dungeon and out. The one difference with out might be to put Lucan in the front rank, and then because he's the explorer or the proto explorer,
outside.
and then once they make contact, he can step back to the second rank. I wasn't sure if Ziodana wants to be in the back, or if we wanted to move her forward. I don't know. But my thought was based upon where I think everyone wants to be, and then also where everyone makes sense. That would probably be kind of what we're looking for.
I
So
concur.
we'd have the 5 in
All
the
right.
front and 3 as a rear guard.
So Mandonio says, "Why has Mandonio been put in the rear? Mandonio does not like it in the rear."
Well, why don't we put Lucan in? Why don't we put in when it's outside? We put Lucan forward,
Right.
and Avarice on trail, and put Mandonio in the second rank. No, he's got a double-handed weapon. He's got to be in the first rank, anyways. Yeah, doesn't he?
Mandonio.
Yeah, and also Lucan.
Horaeus says, if you're going to put Mandonio in the rear, it's probably best I be here as well to keep an eye on him. He gives him a dirty look.
Okay, I think for underground, that's what it looks like, and Jonathan and Jonathan, we just switch Lucan with Avarice for outside, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. But probably not as far forward as Avarice might be.
Mandonio has changed his mind. He has just realized you have positioned him behind Zeodana the Blade Dancer. Yes, this is exactly the place where Mandonio wants to be. Zeodana just like looks back, gives him the dirtiest look you can imagine, flicks him the bird. There's a Piros. I wish I could get it up. Ravilla's like, enjoy your youth, Sapiros. It won't last forever.
So for Lucan, one thing that would be beneficial ultimately is if we could find some sort of trail that leads to the temple, so that we could bring a cart and or a wagon or something like that in the future. Would he be a good one for us to scout some of the area that we know? Like, he doesn't know where we're going, but we do.
Lucan says,
that's cracking.
If you've already taken that path multiple times and haven't seen a trail, it's doubtful there is one there. So perhaps we should try a different route there, and I can see what I can find.
Why don't we? What do you guys think about that?
The explorer knows the wilds better than the rest of us. I say we listen to Lucan.
Indeed.
Okay.
Plus, you have Higlak to back him up, so.
Yeah, so Lucan is a gruff man, but he's actually quite intelligent. And he says, thank you for your trust in me, boss. All right, then. Let's go. Okay, so you guys start heading out to the northwest. Lucan is actually able to find a trail here. And it's dusty, and it has very old footprints on it. But up ahead, as you catch onto the trail and start to make your way down it, you see a prone figure spasming on the dusty trail. It is about 60 feet away.
I'll gesture Lucan to fall back. We don't want him forward if there's a scuffle because he has no armor.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
Describe the spasming, like further, like as having a seizure, or he's just acting out because something went wrong.
So, looking more closely, you see two things. One, his skin is kind of an ugly green with some bristly hairs growing in places where hair doesn't grow on humans. And two, there seem to be creatures on him that are also spasming around. So, and then as you watch, the body falls still.
I think we just saw someone get killed by something unnatural, perhaps. Who knows?
The creatures that were on the fallen being's body now tear themselves off of his body, and you see them for what they are.
Ready.
Oh, no.
So you're looking at large-headed birds of prey with forward-facing eyes, gray-white wings, and hooked beaks that are covered with blood.
I holler back to the party, archers at the ready.
Yep.
They are quite small. They're the size of falcons.
Those are some fierce birds.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys onto the map and take us off pause and go ahead and position yourselves in formation as you'd like. The enemy is 60 feet to the northwest. Okay, so.
I'm readying a spell.
Okay. Are you guys seeing your characters appearing?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a question as you're doing this. Are small creatures like this, are they harder to hit?
Yeah, but it's built into their AC.
Oh, okay.
Got it. So nothing that you have to take care of.
Right.
Okay, so I put your characters down. So so if you wanted to put them in the marching order, so it was Higlak and Raymond were supposed to be up front. Then Avarice and Gwynfor. Sorry, Avaro and Gwynfor. Okay, I'm gonna have to reload. My whole thing is going wonky, guys. So give me a second.
Okay.
Willie, you might be able to put all these birds to sleep.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, is Gwynfor's older brother Gwyn 3?
Ironically, he's E4, which almost sounds like 4. So I think elves number backwards. Or Evor, because they pronounce. My understanding is that elves are basically used Welsh names. So
yeah.
Evor. So, but so I guess it's 4 and 3.
Also, as a heads up, guys, if you hit the Alt button, it will reveal to you all creatures on the map that you can see.
Oh,
Don, did you want to take control of Genevieve again since she's your henchman and I now have one?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And Willie, I could control Zapyros if you wanted to, because I kind of assumed that in combat, the two of them are going to kind of be doing similar things. What are your thoughts?
yeah. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works for me, sure.
You've got like Avaro, or are you running Avarice or Avaro or one of those guys too?
Grant's got Avarice, I think. Right?
Yep.
I've got Avarice.
I think I'm doing Avaro still. So I got Avaro and myself.
Yeah, so Avarice is Higlak, Avaro is Tyrenius, Jenna is Castinus, Haraeus is Higlak, Zapyros is Tyrenius, Revilla is Raymond, Mandonio is Castinus, Zaedana is Raymond, and Lucan is Gwynfor. So everyone has, it looks like 1 or 2. Avarice is up at 7.
Okay.
So the creatures are flying, have just burst up from the body. They're about 60 feet away.
All right. Avarice is going to step. Well, he would step, but I can't seem to move him. Yeah, he's going to move a little bit to the right to make sure that he's got a clear line of sight on these sturges. Sturge. And he is going to...
It's actually a stridges.
Stridges.
Is a D&D-ism. Stridges is the actual Roman monster from myth.
Gotcha. And he is going to loose an arrow at that flying monstrosity.
Do it.
And
He hits AC 3 for 6. That is enough. And the Strix is knocked out of the sky. Genevieve.
She's holding 2 mules.
Zapyros.
Doing the same.
Higlak.
Higlak is going to move forward. We're going to go with 20 feet to get closer. And he is going to hurl his hand axe. All right, so he is hurling a hand axe.
Oh, nice hit. Okay. All right. So your hand axe whizzes through the air and strikes one of the from the sky.
Excellent.
Higlak, you don't have another axe to throw. Otherwise, if you did, you could cleave Higlak. So it goes to Lucan.
Yep.
Oh, Lucan will shoot with his bow. He'll try to take down one of those.
Okay.
Sturgis. Did I say that right? Sturgis?
There's Strix in the singular and Stridges in the plural.
Stridges, okay. All right.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh!
Hit. Wow. Okay.
Well done, Lucan.
Lucan, with pinpoint accuracy of a hunter, kills one of the Strix. Okay, Zaedana.
All right. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any ranged weapons, and she couldn't use them. So she will. Can she ready to attack any one of those unnatural creatures when they come within melee range of one of the party members?
Well, it would have to be within melee range of her because you can't move and attack.
She can't move and attack if she readies. Okay, so So she will ready to attack, to attack any stridges that comes within range of her or one of her adjacent party members.
Got it. Ravilla?
Ravilla will go on full defense because there's nothing much else she can do, and I don't think she should use a spell quite yet for this.
Got it. Gwynfor?
You said you cannot move and then ready? Was that what I
No,
understood?
you can move and ready. What you can't do is ready to do both a move and an attack.
Oh, gotcha. So in that case, I would. I'm better on melee, so I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna stand behind Higlak because I'm spear, and I'm gonna ready.
Oops.
Oops,
To attack.
did I move too far?
Yep. Got it.
Yeah. As soon as the birds charge, I'm gonna attack with my spear.
All right, Mandonio?
Mandonio is gonna shoot with his short bow.
Ha! I will display to you the greatness that is Mandonio.
That's a good roll, isn't it?
It is, and that is enough. He takes it out. Ha! I have felled the last of these creatures. Okay, well, that was an easy fight for the 14 of you.
We having some
Oh,
fun.
I must have missed how many there were. I thought there were a lot more of them. Okay.
Nope, there were 4.
They're horrid creatures.
Okay,
I
what do
make
you want
a
to
point
do?
to go fetch my hand axe.
Very good. You go fetch your hand axe.
Let's go examine the body.
Okay. So you approach and you see around the body of the 4 stridges that you've just slain. The corpse is that of an orc wearing leather armor, carrying a short sword and a short bow with 13 arrows.
I will go and pilfer the bow and arrows in case I need, more range than just a hand axe.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's crude and, no worries. It's better than nothing.
Very good.
Tyrenius will examine the corpses of those birds, see if there's anything useful in them.
Of course there is. All right. So Tyrenius, give me a roll.
Oh,
Okay. Yes, you are
not a bad roll.
intimately familiar. So slain stridges can be harvested with animal husbandry or healing for their hooked beaks and their wings. The hooked beaks are a component for the spell life transfer. The wings are a component for the spell flight.
I will turn to Ravilla and ask if she would do us the honors.
Ah, my pleasure, she says, producing a large cleaver from the butcher tools.
Is there a way to preserve these, or is this is something we probably should have thought of maybe before? Is there certain jars or something we can put these components in which would preserve their essence?
I already bought 2 of them. They're in the
You got them.
2 of them
Yeah.
and the harvesting tools, so we're all set.
Yeah, they're called metamphora, and they're basically
Oh, that's those.
vases that are covered with arcane runes that prevent the magical essence from departing the creature.
Sean continues to demonstrate,
Okay.
step
So-
4.
4 by Stridges parts in metamphora. So that is 48 GP worth of.
Logistics.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Anything else you want to do, or do you want to continue your journey?
Anything of value on that orc we're taking with us?
The orc has a short sword, a short bow, and 13 arrows.
So I'm taking the bow and arrows. We definitely want to take the short sword. And didn't you say some armor?
Leather armor, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Waste not, want not.
All right. Crude short bow. All right. And I guess you're going to put the leather armor on your pack mules, because I don't think anybody
Yep.
wants to carry around extra leather armor.
No.
And the sword too, I imagine, because no one's using the sword, right?
I mean, you
Right,
also
yeah.
have to think that, this grubby, uncleanly orc was sweating and doing all sorts of who knows what while wearing this armor.
It's not my place to
Look at
judge
several
what
loads
you
of
loot.
wash.
It's not my place to judge what you loot. So, okay, you toss that stuff on the mule. It takes Radula about 40 minutes to extract all the parts safely, and you can continue on your way. So that's basically a second ancillary activity of the day. No problem.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us continue on our way. So we will jump back to our super exciting Borderlands map. Okay. So you're currently able to walk 12. So yeah, this is as far as you will get today. Okay. All right. So as you guys are making your way into the Viaspin forest, Lucan holds up his hand to, he says, pause a sec. This area of the wood, it doesn't look right. It's not wild enough. And he's kind of looking around, and as you all sort of look around, you realize it must be the remnants of a very old elven orchard, because the trees have been groomed and shaped and positioned. And elven agroforestry, of course, has long been abandoned since the elves left these forests. But here and there, the remnants still remain. And you see that there are 8 elven apricot trees, each about 25 to 40 feet tall, with white petaled flower blossoms and apricots ripening upon them.
You know how long it's been since I had a real apricot? I'll just let you guys know. It's been forever for the rest of you. You've never had a real apricot.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I would assume that if we were to eat, like, someone with naturalism could probably, see if it's safe. That if we did eat, this might be like, a bonus day's worth of, or a half a day's worth of rations, something like that.
Oh, I mean, it's 8 big fruit-bearing trees. So it's about 280 pounds worth of apricots.
That's a lot of apples.
We don't have to just use it as a bonus day and come back.
Yeah, you could just
Yeah.
eat your fill of food for sure. Count to avoid needing to eat rations today. Yeah, fresh succulent
Cool.
apricots.
And not only that, but 280 pounds worth. If we were to harvest them, how much would they fetch in Sidanos? What'd you think?
Pound. It's mostly just food for your travels.
We can also hit the orchard on the way back, out, and save yet another day's rations.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So the
Mark
party
the location, so it might be good for a few days. I mean, a few trips, maybe.
Yeah. So the party has eaten 14 pounds worth of apricots, and then actually it's time.
person.
And then it's about time to settle down for the night. Actually, with the
Was
berry
that not
temple
the best apricot you've ever had?
6 miles to the north.
Should have
Nice.
bought another cart.
Yeah. Mandonia.
Eats that ale of yours, Higlak.
He says that apricot was in fact fantastic. Says Mandonia.
The apricot may be good, but we'd be better as apricot whiskey.
Mm. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So during the evening, you sleep soundly, take your shifts, maintain careful discipline, noise and light and fire discipline, and awaken with the dawn. So the Berry Temple is, as far as you can tell, 6 miles to the north.
Are we still following that track that Lucan
Yeah.
was able to find? Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will study my
I
tome
see.
beneath the apricot tree. This is a good place. I am feeling really good right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Elven land.
Let's go.
All right. You guys head north. Okay, so you're following this trail in, and you're perhaps 500 yards from the buried temple, having traveled, for about 3 hours today, following the trail north. And you see that the spring storms have washed away the soil of a hill that overlooks the trail. And from the eroded slope, something metallic is glinting in the sunlight.
Oh.
Who's naturalism?
Is big metallic, small metallic? I mean, is it as tall as a person? Is it the size of a stick? Is it the size of a tree? Some perspective.
Perhaps the glint of metal about the size of a stick sticking out of the earth.
Well, let's approach. It might be a gift from Aminar.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, Raymond,
cautiously approach.
Everyone? Okay, so
Cautiously.
staying in formation?
Staying in formation.
All right. So as you begin to get closer, you see that it is made of a material which is it looks as though one would cross gold and bronze to make the most glittering metal possible, and it's a staff of some sort, topped with a winged sun, and beneath the winged sun, but barely visible because it's still buried in the earth, is an ancient plaque of some sort.
I was just thinking of that poetically, but to see that it bears a symbol of Aminar truly is a gift. I approach it carefully.
I'll approach with him. I speak ancient Oran, so I'm curious what the plaque says, or classical Oran. Sorry.
You'll need to dig it out. It will take about 10 minutes to do so if you'd like to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So you spend the time, you kind of, and you eventually emerge, and it is a staff of the sort that might be held by a signifer, a standard pole. And at its base, it seems to have been driven into the ground long, long ago, and then buried by the detritus of centuries and centuries, and only recently re-exposed because of the storms causing erosion. And Jonathan, you wanted to read the plaque?
Yes.
All right. The plaque says the following. Be it known that in the 421st year since the fall of the Thracians, in the reign of the sorcerer king Sebek of Zahar, here did Azandor of Tyrrhenia call down the fortress of Aminar upon the temple of Saqqara. Breach not the walls that he hath placed, for the temple is a place unwholesome and unclean. But if his walls hath been breached by evil gods or men, then good men must ready for war.
This here is our mandate. This here is our commission.
I like it.
And with alchemy, so we have multiple alchemists in the party, you're able to recognize that this is the metal known as orichalcum. And this staff is probably worth 4,000 gold pieces.
My goodness.
But I don't know. Hold on. 4,000 GP, but at the same time, it's a cool trophy. I mean,
yeah, you don't. It counts as jewelry, so you don't need to sell it to get the XP. You just need to bring it back to town.
I think when we are when we get a charter from the Merchants Guild, this becomes our standard to take into battle.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yep. Well,
I think it's appropriate that Raymond carry it.
And keep
Or pack
going.
it. If Raymond wants to carry it, it might be appropriate for him to carry
all
it.
right.
But I don't want his hands to be full, of course, if he needs his hands.
Yeah, if you want to carry it, you'd have to drop your mace and shield and use a staff two-handed.
Never mind.
Oh, it like literally is a staff.
It's literally a staff. Yeah, yeah. It's a staff with a wing sun mounted at the top and a plaque. It's like imagine one of those Roman standards, but instead of the eagle, it's the wing sun, and instead of the flag, it's a plaque.
Is Zora Calcum, is that brittle?
No, not at all.
So can definitely use it as a. Oh, but man, the shield. I don't know. I mean, it's just too poetic. All right.
Now maybe it should just be our symbol in town. You carry it around in town, but
Yeah.
so that, pass the fame, right?
Yeah, and just for reference, a staff two-handed is 1d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which is the
Yeah,
same.
it would
as
be
mason out.
it would be a step down in your combat capabilities.
Yeah, because I'd lose a point of AC for no change in combat output.
Right. That's correct.
Yep. Okay, but you know what we do need? We need a porter. What's the name of that optional class? I forget. Shield bearer.
Shield bearer. Yeah.
Shield bearer. Oh my gosh. And then someone to cast angelic choir. That's what we need. Wait a minute. What's her name? Ravilla, I think, has angelic choir as a priestess, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has angelic choir. Yeah.
Maybe.
So she can cast that when we go back into town, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The theme music when we're back in town.
Hey, I'll trade you my staff for that staff.
No. It is not right that the guy that has an infernal imp for a familiar to be carrying around this holy object.
I don't like that staff at all, says Zaha. I think you should bury it again.
You see?
No, but notice
Just
though
asking
that
for
the name
rebuking.
of the person is. So do you think that? Oh, never mind. It's location. It was Tyrannia. Never mind. I saw Tyrannia and I was thinking of Tyrannia. So I was like, could that be your ancestor? But never mind.
That's great. Let's wrap it, respectfully and move on in.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic sauce.
I think that staff, if I'm not mistaken, is worth more than all the treasure we've found so far.
It is.
Strap it as a banner to the cart.
When I said it was a gift
Proudly.
from Aminar, I only said that with respect to the fact that it was glinting in the sun. I didn't expect it to actually be a gift from Aminar. I mean, come on.
Dude, you need to be playing this up that you're a prophet. Why are you down?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Let's go. I'm pumped. It is a sign. We need to head into the temple right now and fulfill the commission that is inscribed on this very trophy given to us by Aminar.
That's right. It's the Great Commission.
True. First we got the elven peaches, and now we got a staff. I mean, those are like equal, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
Clearly. Okay.
Let's go thrash those kobolds.
So no guard.
Are we first going
guards
to check
at
the
entrance.
brigand portion? Is that the plan?
Well,
And-
let's
and
see if there's
there,
anybody
or-
guarding the door first, right?
Oh, well, that's true. I even got ahead of myself. Yes.
You think
Okay.
they heard us coming?
All right. So Avarice sneaks forward, and he can see that there are 4 kobold archers at the door.
Well, I think we do what we did last time. Just try to overwhelm them with missile attack, and that they don't sound the alarm.
Okay. So I'm going to make a surprise check for them, see if they're surprised, because you're able to see them before they're able to see you. So they have a definite chance of being surprised. They are not surprised. So we simply go to initiative as you guys burst out.
Probably something to do with 5 characters in plate armor sneaking through the woods.
Probably.
It's the reason why Iron Man doesn't do stealth missions.
All right, Jenna Vale has won the initiative with 7.
She's holding a mule.
Okay. Zayadana.
Giordano's character, she doesn't have any spells, which is fine because I wasn't anticipating her casting any spells right now. But
I don't have all the second edition spells added to the thing, so you have to have the rule book open to have your spells.
Okay, got it. Okay, so let's see what this distance is here between her and.
Just don't have her get in the way.
Okay, that's fair. All right, she is going to she's going to hold for now.
Okay, she's holding. Lucan.
I will shoot his short bow.
Okay. Lucan hits AC 5, but only 1 point of damage. One of the kobolds gives out a squeal of pain.
Good job softening him up, Lucan.
Raymond.
It's all progress.
Raymond is holding for now.
Castinus.
Crossbow.
Oh,
Mandonio.
Short bow.
hey.
Nice. Which one do you want to hit, Mandonio?
Front right.
Front right?
Yeah.
Boom. He topples over. Mandonio cleaves.
Okay.
So
You're finished with the second one?
His second arrow misses. Flies wild. Okay. All right. Gwynfor.
I will shoot my short bow at the one that Lucan softened up.
Okay. Sadly, you do no honor to elven archery this day. Your arrow misses. Ravila.
That's not my primary skill.
Ravela's holding. You get him, boys.
Higlak.
Higlak will break out his brand spanking new crappy bow and loose an arrow.
Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Higlak drops 1. And you cleave.
Okay.
I didn't see what Higlak's roll didn't show up for me.
I don't know what to say. It was an 18.
Oh, it's because it's set to private GM. My bad.
Yo, what up with that, man?
All right, I'll reveal it then.
Yeah.
Oh!
All right, Higlak, your second arrow bounces off the leather armor on one of the kobold archers. Okay, so we now go to Zapiros.
Sean, were you going to run him?
Yeah, I think he's holding the mule. Two mules.
All right, so the kobold archers are up, and one of the kobold archers moves up to the big heavy bronze door and pushes it open, and gestures at his friend, and his friend goes running inside.
Oh no!
Okay, and goes to Tyrenius Orn.
Okay. Oh, Tyrenius at this range. He'll throw a dart, but I don't. Will.
Okay,
What's
that's
my
long,
do I have a
that's
penalty?
long range. Yeah, -5.
But a 20 is an automatic hit.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Did it
That
not
didn't
go
work,
up?
Willie. It's
I did put the space.
You didn't do it right. It's /roll 1d20 -5.
Darn that syntax.
I just left the space out. That didn't matter.
Okay. All right. So Tyrenius hurls it. Okay, they've gone. Avarice.
Avarice will fire at the remaining dude with his bow. I managed to pull that up. And not do much. I don't know if AC4 hits.
AC4 hits that same archer who already took 1 point. So he's now survived 2 arrow wounds, which basically makes him the toughest kobold who's ever lived. All right. That ends the round.
Can Avro not go?
Wow.
Avro did not
Avro,
go.
go ahead. Yeah, Avro, go ahead. Sorry. And Horaeus. Yeah.
Okay, so he's firing at the same kobold
Okay.
that was peppered with arrows.
I'm softening him up for Avro. You know, he's the one who gets the kills for us, right?
All right, Avro gets
Perhaps.
the kill.
Nice.
The kobold archer has committed. I rolled its morale and it has committed to fighting on, but then it dies as Avro's arrow claims its life. Okay, so do you wish to stay in combat mode to pursue that guy that ran inside, or do you just want to advance cautiously?
I say let's
Probably the only
pursue
one who could-
because
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, my gut is to pursue because he's going to bring reinforcements.
Probably the only one who
Okay.
can pursue successfully is Avarice, who might be able to, see and get a shot. Maybe I don't know.
It would be the people that haven't
Right.
acted yet could go right.
Yeah.
now, people that are
So I guess with that, since all of our range folks went, the blade dancer Zayadana, I guess, has the highest initiative of the folks that didn't go. So she will run forward towards the door.
Okay.
And go through.
All right. All right. So she is plunged into darkness, except for the light shed by the rest of your party's torches. She cannot see.
Oh,
where the
that's
creature
right.
has
I
been.
forgot about the torches issues. Okay. Raymond will follow right on behind her.
Okay. So Raymond, I believe you can only move 60 because you're in plate. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay.
All right.
All right. Who else?
Well, Horaeus is not acted, so
Nope.
he can move 60.
Yep. You can go to there. Okay. Anybody else?
Who else hasn't acted?
Jenna Vale hasn't acted. Zapiros hasn't acted. Revilla the Crone hasn't acted.
Oh, Revilla's not going up
Probably light
there.
some torches. How long does it take to light a torch? Can you do that in a round?
It's your movement action to get the torch out. Your combat action to light the torch. So yeah.
Yeah, light some torches, please.
Okay. Both Jenna and Zapiros light torches.
Okay. All right.
Are they
Well,
moving or are they staying there?
they can't move because they had to get them out of their packs. So
Oh, I see.
that's it. All right. So let us go to the next round of combat and we will roll the initiative. Okay. So Lucan Habas is at 7. What does he want to do?
I think he'll hold. He's unarmored. He doesn't want to go running into darkness without something in front of him, so he'll wait.
Okay.
Hold his action for later.
All right. Well, the Kobold Archer was up next at 6. You have no idea where he is, and he has just gotten a full turn on you. So I'm going to say the encounter is over.
Until he comes back.
All right.
So there's kind of two possibilities I see. The question is, we don't know what his orders are. His orders are either to alert whoever's closest or to go back and alert the kobolds. So it's quite possible, probably the most likely one is he's going to be alerting the kobolds. So we could be seeing an attack from the kobolds, or maybe they're battening down the hatches like they were last time. But there's also a chance, because we have not explored off to the left, so we don't know what's that way. To the right, if assuming nothing's come in, that's where the brigands were at.
Yep.
Maybe they're preparing a boiling oil attack or some other similar hellish trap on us.
Maybe.
I think we've got probably 2 or 3 rounds where we could ready ourselves and move inside before they can effectively counterattack.
Agreed.
Okay.
And I'm going
Probably-
to suggest we
Probably
move
more
to
than
the,
that if they're going back to the kobold, but yeah.
I'm going to suggest we move to the right to go check out what's become of the brigand area, make sure it's clear, and take out that one closet or whatever the heck it is.
Yep, I agree.
That's the old plan.
Okay. All right.
Keeping so at this point we have 3 light sources. We'll have Castinus with the lantern, and then Jenna and Zapiros with a torch each.
Got it.
Because there's risk of attack on both fronts, I think it might make sense for us to have 4 forward and 4 back, so I can slide
Yep.
back
Yep.
and
I
be
agree.
beside Ziodana in case we have somebody coming from that direction.
Okay. So you slide back.
In the second rank. Yeah, perfect.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. So you guys have come in. Okay. That kobold ran away. So that is what you guys can see. So as a reminder, this is a 20-foot wide hallway that runs west to east. Seems to be a kind of a main artery within the buried temple, and there are sequential fresco paintings on the northern wall, which you've seen 2 of so far.
I just realized looking at the map that I've drawn, I emailed it to you, so you might have it handy. We don't know what's off to the left. We also don't know, there are some southern things from that room where Higlak and I were down. We saw a little bit beyond the curtain into that room. That room could potentially connect with where the 2 is. We don't know, but there's a possibility that the kobold could be coming. If they are attacking, they could be coming from that direction, or they could be coming from that door just to the north, where the Zaharan statue's north from there. So I see those are potential. If they're going to attack, of course, kobolds are cowardly. It's quite possible they're just battening down the hatches.
Yeah.
So those are 2 potential routes of kobold assault.
Kobold! Okay. Well, you guys are currently standing in the middle of the hallway. What do you want to do? About a minute has passed.
We're heading back to the brigand area, isn't that what?
Yeah,
What the
turn right.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go to the brigand area.
All right. Are you moving at combat speed or exploration speed?
I think combat.
Combat. Yeah.
All right. Makes sense to me.
Combat.
There we
This
go.
program had a
Somebody with a
group
torch
pivot.
came up.
Yeah, it wasn't that you guys were ever in the dark. It's just
Yeah.
I can only move them so fast. One of the things that's really lacking from Foundry is the ability to do a formation change. If there was one thing I wish they would code, it would be that, to where you could just move the whole formation.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's how far you guys have gotten after another minute. Another round.
Okay.
And provided that there's no change in what we can hear, see, smell, or otherwise sensorily divine, I suggest we keep on with our plan.
Okay.
Yep.
Brilliant. So, but continuing to advance at combat speed, though, because you're trying to avoid bad things happening. So you get to about there, and then you can start to decide where you want to go from there. Okay. So after about another minute, you come around the corner and you see the two doors. The door to the bandits has been shut and barred. Not barred, but spiked shut.
From which side?
This side.
From this side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe remember the undead. Remember the brigands barred it against undead.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody doesn't. Maybe the undead with no brigands there made some progress.
Or maybe the brigands are undead now.
Well, that would be
Ooh.
unfortunate.
Oh snap! Because this is a cursed area. Yeah. Okay. We need to
Good
burn
call.
bodies. We need to burn bodies in that if possible.
How tough are undead typically? Like just raised bodies. Are they roughly the same hit points, or do they take on?
No, they're tougher when
Extra
they're
health
raised as
properties.
undead. They're an extra hit die.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's okay because there might be a potential of rebuking them. But next, when I feel that Aminar has graced my ability such in that way.
Well,
In order to
does this?
I roll.
What do you guys think? Does this change? Maybe we just hunt. We could, if it's kind of closed off, we could hunt down the kobolds and finish them off first. Maybe.
I think check this. Check this door down here that we think is like a closet. Confirm that that's what it is, and then go deal with the kobolds. Leave the rest of the brigand area alone.
Yeah, I think so.
If the door has been spiked shut, there's
From
no
our
point.
side, yeah.
Been worrying about it.
All right. So as you guys are
Maybe evil, but not
talking,
stupid.
your vocalizations are interrupted by the sound of something slamming into the door in front of you. It kind of sounds like a
Okay.
Right away. Let's not get it stirred up any worse.
So this is basically a horror movie. Got it. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Avarice is going to go ahead and check the door to the south.
Okay. So quick check because you're moving at combat speed.
Right. Let's see. That is searching.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I am not able to.
Just roll d20.
D20. Got it.
Just roll d20. Okay. So, Avarice, you are confident that the door is not trapped and nor locked. It is an ordinary door, although it does seem to be stuck, as if it is not opened very often.
Okay. He will gesture to. He'll step back and he'll gesture to Higlak and Raymond to go ahead and do a little shoulder power to push that door open.
Okay. Brilliant. So,
It makes sense also while this is happening.
go ahead.
For Avarice to step to the back of the party because he can see in the dark, just in case kobolds are approaching, so to give us a bit of
Good
warning.
call.
You want to have him kind of in the back here then, a little bit outside of the torchlight?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I can move forward again to be in the second rank because I feel like our back is a little more, at least watched.
All right. So then
In
you
case
move back
these
up. Yeah.
the Walking Dead come out.
Okay. All right. So Higlak, give me a check to open that door.
All right. Just a D20.
Mm-hmm. Boom. All right. With a mighty strike, you kick the door open. Beyond is a 20-foot wide, 40-foot long room. The floor is bare earth. The ceiling is too high to see above you. That's about all you guys can see. You can't make out too much further in the room without going in.
Okay. I'm going to ask that one of the torchbearers come up behind Raymond and myself, and that we move inside the room.
You've got me. You've got Cassidus with the lantern.
Perfect.
All right. So you guys move into the room, and so there's two things that are distinctive about this room relative to the others that you've been in. One, it does not have a stone floor. All of the others have had, paved floor of an interior of a temple. This is just bare earth. The other thing that you notice is that the ceiling is not visible even under your torchlight, so it's at least 30 feet high.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This might be what once was the outside of the temple that was covered by the dome.
Yeah.
And then this was just like a secondary door into the temple or something like that.
Not everything's illuminated. Is it 4 squares long and 2 wide? Is that
4 squares long, 2
correct?
wide. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a possibility. I mean, theoretically, with undead coming, one choice we have is to go into this room. But of course, that does leave us no exit, which I am hesitant to do. But I thought I'd bring it up.
Well, the interesting thing about this room is that if there's and right now it's a corridor. It looks like what otherwise would be a corridor, right? 10 feet wide.
20 feet wide. Yeah. I mean, the corridor you were just in was 20 feet wide, so it's hard to know if it was a corridor or a chamber.
Got it. So what's interesting about this place is that this could serve literally as a place for us to rest, because there's only one entrance. Yeah, it's just one entrance that can easily be defended if we need to.
Only there wasn't this pesky undead problem next door.
Does the door swing in or out, Alex?
The door kicked inward.
Kicked inward. So the benefit of that too is that it is very unlikely that we would be spiked in or otherwise surprised, right? Because the hinges are on this side. Wait a minute. Then that doesn't make sense that this would be an outside door. Curious. Anyway.
Maybe ancient Orans swung their doors opposite directions. Or Zaharans, they're evil, so,
Yeah. Well, I mean, thinking about how the door is hinged, it is a little odd, but it certainly is very defensible for us. If we were to use it as a campground instead of having to leave every time.
Yeah. That's why I got all that stuff, so that we can hopefully spend a night or two here.
Except we don't have any food.
Yeah, we do.
Do we want to stick around for these undead to come out, or do we want to and fight them, or do we want to get out of here and maybe they'll quiet?
Yeah, I'd suggest go ahead and get out of here. No need to fight the undead.
At least. All right.
We have a plan, so we can come back very quietly, maybe.
That means that we're heading left then.
So you're heading left now?
To the west.
All right. So
and I'm looking at this map here that you drew Gwyn for.
Yeah. Heading to area number 2, which is due west of the where we came in.
Yep.
Did anyone stay with the stash?
What stash?
We haven't left the stash.
I'm sorry then.
Yeah, I think we were thinking of doing it, but there's undead next door, so maybe we won't right now. I think that's kind of, at least my thought, right?
Now, so have you brought the mules in with you? Is that
Yes.
the idea? Okay, so I need to put the mules actually on the map then, because they are. And how many mules? 4 mules? 1 mule? 2 mules?
4.
Wow. Okay.
It's a mule train.
Yeah. Okay.
We are indeed an army unit at this point.
I mean, there's a reason West Point's mascot is the mule, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Not wrong. Army travels on its stomach.
Yep.
And loot. Well, at least in this case.
Okay. This is hilarious how many mules you guys have.
And what do we do with the cart?
The cart you left in town.
We left the cart with the merchant.
Okay.
We didn't know that there was a path to the temple, and we wouldn't have been able to, would not have been able to move through the forest.
So these are the two mules that are under Zapirus. And Denna looks at Mandonio and says, "This is unbelievable. I'm surrounded by asses on all sides." This is very unkind. Why are you unkind to Mandonio? All right, so you guys have formed up. Good. And at this point, I need Avarice McCade to please make a listening check.
Come on, Avarice. Save us from being surprised.
Okay. Hear noise.
Greedy bastard.
Wow.
Oh!
All right, so Avarice, you hear the sounds of troops marshaling behind this door.
Okay. And so I very quietly whisper to everyone, enemy behind the door ahead.
Well, if they're okay. Well, if they're marshaling,
Want to cast a spell?
Yeah, if they're marshaling behind the door, let's create a shield wall at the door with spears behind, and then spellcasters after that.
I'm going to cast sharpness on my spear.
You cast sharpness on your spear? Awesome.
Yeah, that lasts for a while, right?
It does. Yep.
Yeah, so
like for an hour, is that correct?
I believe it's an hour,
right?
yeah.
So
Quite some time.
All right, so let's do that. Let's form a shield wall at the door. And if time allows, I will cast what's it called? That protection spell.
You're talking about shield wall facing north to the door?
Yeah, shield wall facing. I mean, if troops are marshaling behind that door to come out, let's stop them at the door. It's our best chance to control how many folks we fight all at once.
Okay, I concur with Newton on this. The one thing I'm going to suggest, though, is we only put in ranks 1 and 2, and then leaving the rear ranks still as a rear guard in case we have a problem coming up behind.
Behind, yeah, and then spellcasters and missile folks can,
One thought would be, if the undead hit us, that's just really bad. But also, there's also potential of being hit from the left, so it might make sense to move the mules and stuff by the exit, because that's only staggered, I think, 2 squares.
Yep.
Well, right where Willie is hovering.
So I would say anybody other than the front 2 ranks, figure that part out. Maybe archers to cover multiple areas, but the shield wall needs to get set up right now.
Okay.
All right, well, go ahead and move yourselves, guys. So,
all right.
I'm going to move, and then I'm going to ready to slumber.
Okay.
Oh, I've got.
And
you're right here, Newton.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
There I am.
All right, let's get. And I will.
And Alex, as soon as I'm set up, if time allows, I'll cast a Holy Circle.
So just go ahead and let everyone get set up,
Okay.
and I will tell you what's happening.
Okay. Where is my man Harris? All right, Horaeus is going to come left to make sure that we can exit.
Oh, actually, why don't Lucan and Zedon, the Blade Dancer, why don't they switch? Because Lucan has a bow, and so he right in the front rank, in the second rank, or elsewhere. Whereas Zeodonna probably wants to be in the second rank because she's the most useful there. So, whoops, I moved the wrong person back. So I'm moving Lucan back. If Newton likes that idea.
Wait a minute. Can you say that again?
Put Zeodonna. Am I saying her name right? Zeodonna in
Zeodonna,
Zeodonna. Put her in next to Gwynfor and Avaro in the second rank.
Yep.
That way, Lucan can stand back with his bow and help deal with any other threats.
Yes, I am cool with that. Hold on, I'm moving. And she is using her two-handed, her spear two-handed. And if the second rank is all spears, we can fit 3 people back there.
Avaro should be able to fit. He's usually there.
Okay, and I'm going to suggest we get the mule train moved, tighten up our perimeter. And let's get Mandonio covering our 3 o'clock.
How do you ping the map? I've never been able to ping the map.
You just hold the mouse button down there.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking mule train maybe over here-ish. Because that's the exit.
That's
Like there?
let's keep the mule train back a little bit because we've got Horaeus right here providing our
Oh, like in here.
covering our 9 o'clock flank. Yeah. And remember, Alex did say that unlike D&D, grouping up is not a horrible thing.
Until you fight casters that can nuke the shit out of you. Yeah.
Which is
Not quite there yet.
Can you say that?
And for
refresh.
We still need Avaro in the second rank. I can't move him. I think, is that Willie?
I got it moved. All right. Okay.
who's this person that I can't move? I think this is Ravilla, but I'm not sure.
Ravilla?
Yeah, it is Ravilla. I can't move her.
You can't move Ravilla? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Whoever moved her, thank you for that.
I moved her. I'll fix that for you. Okay, you're able to move her now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so you guys spent about a minute getting formed up. I see Avarice on your west flank behind Horaeus. I see Lucan on your west flank, but facing north. Gwynfor, Zeodonna, Avaro all facing north. Piro is over on the right flank, and so Piro and Jenna way in the rear.
I'm trying to move them over. I'm trying to move them over with the donkeys.
Okay, got it. Okay, what about Mandonio?
He's gonna basically be the right guard.
Okay, and Ravilla?
She is going to
Be next to the mules.
Yeah, be with the mules.
Yeah, by the mules.
got it.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so
we've got a nice tight formation here.
we're going to go into combat. And I'm doing the GM rolls secretly, so you can't see the monsters because you're not sure exactly
Alex,
where they
by the
are,
way-
how many.
Within that minute, did I have time to cast Holy Circle?
If you'd like to cast Holy Circle, you can do so.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It'll give everybody adjacent to me, actually up to 10 feet, I think, a +2 saving throws and AC.
Is it
Yeah,
10 foot radius?
10
10
foot
foot
radius.
radius.
Yep.
Okay, so there
10
you
foot
go.
radius.
So let's make sure that that's, yep, there you go, Newton. So it's like that.
Nice.
Yeah, plus
Okay.
1 AC, +1 saves.
And Jonathan's got that. All right. So Zayadana, what are you doing?
Zayadana is readying to spear first threat she sees through that door.
Okay,
Well, not throw the spear, but literally.
I understand. Okay, Ravilla, what are you doing?
Ravilla's holding.
Okay, Avro,
Holding.
holding. Okay,
Do you mean want ready instead?
I think
So that way they can
Hold,
attack.
Ready. Yeah.
ready.
I don't know.
Yes. That's what I meant.
Okay, so Avro is ready. And the cool ready sign. Okay, Win 4.
I'm gonna ready as well.
Okay. Win 4. Raymond,
Raymond will go on full defense.
you have to concentrate, Raymond, right? You can't. Yeah, you have to maintain stationary concentration.
Oh, stationary concentration. Okay, I maintain stationary concentration then.
Okay, so Pyros,
He will delay.
delay. Yep.
Torch,
Higlak,
torch and mule.
Higlak will hold action.
do you want to delay or do you want to ready?
Ready action.
Okay. Yep. Got it. Okay. Genevale.
Delay.
Okay, she's delaying. Haraeus. Haraeus.
Horacio will he's just going to ready action.
What is he readying?
He's going to ready an attack if anything comes in range.
What weapon does he have ready?
Short sword.
Yep.
He doesn't have any kind of ranged attack.
Castinus.
Delay.
Okay, Castinus is delaying. Okay, the mules. Okay. Mandonio.
Delay.
Lucon.
He'll delay.
Delay. Okay. Avarice.
Avarice will delay.
Next light horse. All right. At that point, from out in the darkness to the west comes a thunder of arrows, all shooting at Haraeus.
Oh shit!
All shooting at Haraeus.
Of which
One hit.
one hits.
Yep.
And he takes 1 point of damage. All right, as a kobold arrow thuds through a gap in his plate mail. A moment later, there is a screaming war cry, and a horde of kobolds descends upon them. And since Haraeus is the only one that they're going to be able to get to, they're going to clump up using their small size to just wail the shit out of him with spears. So this is going to be a lot of spirit. Haraeus.
I'm glad he's over there. Otherwise, our flank would be completely exposed.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spear attacks.
Let's see if he lives.
Okay. So I'm going to do them one at a time. Now, Haraeus was readied
Yep.
to make your attack.
Okay.
Oh, no, he lost his ready because he took damage. Sorry. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you lose ready now for that. Okay.
Yeah, you lose your ready, just like war. So he lost his ready. So I will,
Oh, wow. Okay.
just like Demand of War, yeah, matches up 1-to-1 now.
Yeah, it matches up now. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Oh, interesting. They have javelins, not. Okay, that's good for you guys. So these 4 then will attack with their javelins on charge. The ones in the second rank can't get there. Okay, so here we go. That's a hit for 1 point. Next javelin on Haraeus.
Oh,
Wow.
dude. These are the fiercest
For 1 point.
kobolds. What?
And the fourth one hits AC 6.
he is
So
AC is 8.
All right, so he gets missed. So he takes a total of 3 more points and is badly wounded, but has survived the assault of the kobolds. As their great war cry goes off on the west, to the north, the door kicks open and the kobolds come bursting out as well.
Ah!
Okay, so I believe we have some readies and shit going off.
Yep.
All right.
Higlak
Higlak.
was ready.
First one comes out.
Yep.
Yep.
First one stepping up. It's gonna hang on. All right, there we go. Let's try that now.
All right, so Higlak, the first of the kobolds, bursts through, and with a single blow from Mor Surasan, you decapitate him, and his lizard dog head bounces on the floor like a pebble. Okay, you can cleave onto the next one.
Oh, I shall. And Higlak screams out, missing, of course, that, my blade hungers.
All right, so this one is attacking you with his... Oops. This one is attacking you with his javelin. And misses you. Okay, next one coming up. Anybody want to trigger a ready that's got a ready on him? So Avro.
Zayadana has a ready.
Does she have a spear?
Yeah.
Okay, Zayadana at the ready. Go ahead.
Boom. Let's go. So she misses, I guess.
I guess shouldn't. Yeah, she misses. That's weird though. She should have a melee throw bonus of 1. That wasn't factored in. Okay, I fixed it now. All right, so Zayadana misses. So then my guy gets to make his attack.
What about
the other ones who are ready can attack if you have to.
Oh, they can. Yeah, no, they can. Go ahead, sure.
Because I'm ready as well. Now with the I have to manually do this now because I have the sharpness. Is that correct? So I need to manually type it in to make sure I get that bonus.
No, we just add it in. We'll just remember.
Okay. All right. Oh, that didn't work. All right, second. My hotkeys for some reason don't like me anymore.
I never
I'm going to
use the
swing my
hotkeys.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was swing my spear. I'm sorry, and I'm going to say, "The wise man doesn't want to be a hero. Nevertheless." I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. I didn't want to have a better one.
Just make Jonathan. You missed your chance to be cool.
I lost it. Well, I do have low.
Low charisma. You try to come up with a cool quote, but
I was trying to come up cool, and then
and then you roll a 2. All right, very unfortunate. Avro.
all right. Avro uses his spear.
There we go. Avro for the win.
All right.
Oh.
Avro guts one of the kobolds as it rushes forward, poking over the shoulder. Avro can cleave.
I do have a question about spell casting, though. When we're all anticipating that the door is going to open, we're still going in initiative order. So we haven't reached Tyrenius yet.
The idea is that they were readied and you were readied, so we're just basically rolling off the initiative of who. Yeah.
Okay.
And Tyrenius, you're at 1, so we haven't reached you yet.
Yep. Here goes his cleave.
Nice. Another kobold goes down to Avro's killing frenzy. Okay. By the way, at any point, if someone wants to come off of delay, they can. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep moving my kobolds.
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. This kobold comes forward. Attacks Higlak. Misses him. This one comes forward, attacks Raymond. Misses him. Okay. These 4 here, all ready to throw their javelins. Actually, they're going to go ahead and throw them at the second rank, actually. Well, they're going to have a big penalty to do that. They were really hoping that charge would have carried people through the door, and that just totally didn't work out for them. Yeah. They are going to delay, and these guys are delaying. Okay. So goes to 1, which is Trinius.
Mandonio.
Mandonio wants to come off his delay. Okay.
What I want him to do is I want him to charge, or as well as best as he can, and get into combat over here with Avarice and Horaeus.
All right. So the problem is there's too much stuff in the way for a charge. So he can certainly walk, but his combat speed in plate is only 20 feet to get to there.
He is, but no, he's wearing the lamellar. He did not get a plate.
Yes, but with the short bow and the other things, he's still at the plate level encumbrance. He's only got 60-foot move, so he can only get to there.
Okay.
So you could then hustle, which is basically do another walk, and you could get up there. You won't be able to attack, but you'd at least be in the fight.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Perfect.
And Lucan, from where he's at, since the second rank there is not engaged in combat, could he shoot at the second rank on the side?
His best bet would be to go like that, and
yeah, he'll sidle in and shoot.
Shot. Yep.
All right, and go ahead, Jonathan, and then Avarice is going to step in at that point.
Oh my goodness! The Jonathan luck is coming to the fore.
All right,
And then Ravilla, now seeing that there's kind of a line on the west, Ravilla will move.
where?
Over to here.
Oh, okay.
And then she's going to lay on Horaeus.
Oh, nice. All right, so she heals Horaeus of 2 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, like every little bit is
Every little bit counts. Okay. Anybody else want to come off delay?
Yeah, Avarice is going to go ahead and come off delay.
All right.
And he's going to fire his bow at this at the kobold right in front of him.
So that one is in melee, so he cannot, but he can fire at the one behind if you'd like.
Works for me. And you can.
There it is. All right. So Avarice's lethal bow fire drops one of the kobolds.
Nice.
Okay. Anybody else want to come off delay?
I'm the last one, but I think I don't think I can do anything.
Well, you're carrying the lantern, so I guess if you move, you might cast people into darkness. So perhaps, yeah.
I'll just stay right where I am.
Okay, so Tyrenius, it's you then.
Okay, I'm going to be casting Slumber up into this cluster to the north.
Okay.
I don't know how to mark directly in the center of them. Sort of below the larger two behind. So it catches the two in the front and then the ones in the rear as well.
All right. All living targets within a 20-foot diameter sphere make paralysis saving throws. Okay. So yeah, you can catch essentially all of them. And
So,
Oops, I
let's have a quick question, actually.
yeah.
Why are some spells written with diameter and other spells with radius?
Because I was sloppy.
Okay, I just wasn't. There was like a particular. Okay, sure.
No.
If there's a reason for that.
No. Okay. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to start doing some saving throws here. That should be. Boy, this is not going to go well for these poor guys. All right. So they need
time.
All right. So first, we will roll for the chief.
How's it going, Chief?
Chief drops into unconsciousness.
Nice.
Okay, then we will roll for the champion. Champion stays awake. Then we will roll for this kobold. Actually, I'll just roll for all four of them. Actually, there's 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and wow, incredible rolls. 1, 2,
Just on fire.
3. for 5 successes. So only one more goes to sleep.
That's messed up, man. Well, if nothing else, the chief loses respect from the other kobolds because it's like
He's like, you guys push the attack. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yep. All
Well,
right.
they don't know he's sleeping. I go, I just killed your chief.
yeah. That, and then if he was like, this is my chance to be the chief.
Yep. All right. So I'm actually gonna make a quick check to see exactly what the champion does do. And what I'm actually doing a loyalty roll for the champion to see his loyalty to his boss.
That's awesome.
7. All right. So he kind of looks over at the boss's body and he says, to me, victory under my leadership in Kobold. And we will go to the next round of combat. Any spells being cast? Going once, going twice. Spells are done. Okay.
Yep. All right.
All right. So Avaro is first.
All right, he's still in the second rank. He's going to strike with a spear again.
Okay. Wow, did Avaro actually miss? That's shocking. Okay, Castinus.
Delay.
Gwynfor.
Since I'm in the second rank, can I step out of this combat and go to the other combat? Or would that be?
No, of course, yeah.
Because if I would like to, step behind Mandonio and begin forming a second rank.
Sure.
So that way we have a little more protection on this side, and so then I'll attack the.
Yep.
I think 4 versus those there.
Totally got it.
Over here.
Yep.
So, all right, now I'll attack the nearest kobold with my spear, with my imbued spear, and I'm not going to try to say anything fancy this time.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There we go.
Just
gotta keep silent.
Your spear slides into this kobold like the kobold were made of butter. And you've never felt such little resistance from an attack before. You are impressed with yourself at how powerful your sharpness magic was. So you can now cleave.
I like to think it's Dracula, looking out for us still against these kobolds.
Absolutely. Oh, there it is. All right. With a whirl and a war cry, Gwynfor spins his spear back and takes out another one of the kobolds. Awesome. Okay, Mandonio is now up. Mandonio says, I'm outdone by an elf. Mandonio cannot be outdone.
Mandonio with the
Morning Star.
Yeah, with the Morning Star. Come on, here we go.
Oh,
I have been outdone by an elf. My humiliation is endless. Raymond, concentrating.
Is that a flail? Is a Morning Star a flail, or is that more like is it a staff kind of mace?
It's the Morning Star is any two-handed bludgeoning weapon. Okay, so it's a big stick with a. All right, Tyrenius.
Tyrenius will attempt to toss a dart forward into the closer, or one of the 2 kobolds in the doorway.
Okay. You have to toss it to the ones further back because the ones in the doorway are engaged.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Back left.
Okay.
I'll throw it at one of those 2 on the left.
Yeah. Or if you want an easier shot, you could throw at this guy back here who isn't next.
Okay, yeah, he'll do that then.
Okay.
He'll give a toss that direction.
Yep. Oh! Incredible. All right.
Incredible dart.
Tyrenius just all of a sudden pulls out, a small lead dart from within the folds of his robes and throws his hand out like this. It whizzes across the air, impales the kobold right in its, goes into its brain, and it dies.
nice.
All right. Lucan.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, honestly. I think it's the first time I've seen a mage kill something with a dart.
Pretty awesome.
Okay. Lupin will target
That's pretty
this guy
impressive.
Okay.
with his short bow.
Got it.
Nice.
Lucan takes him out. Okay. Lucan doesn't have a cleave because he's still 0 level. Jenna.
Delay.
Okay. Zayadana.
She's gonna spear one of the folks in the front there.
Okay.
Inventory. Let's go. Boom.
Oh, wow. There it is. Okay. So Zayadana, using her blade dancing, is a angelic flurry of battle as she takes out one of the kobolds. Okay, Higlak is up.
And there appears to be a kobold right in front of me.
Indeed there is, sir. Indeed there is.
Not for much longer. He, you know, my sword hungers. Oh, come on.
All right. You make just like a contemptuous blow. Like you're not even trying very hard. And the magic sword beheads the kobold.
Wow.
So you have no target in front of you. So you go back to ready unless you'd like to advance 5 feet and do a cleave.
No, I do not want to advance. I'll let them come to me.
Okay. Haraeus. Oh, sorry. Ravilla.
Ravilla's like, it's a good thing I'm a pacifist. Otherwise, I'd show them what for. You boys got this. And then she comes back over here.
All right. This kobold says, "Don't kill the hot one." And points at Ravilla. Haraeus, you're up.
All right. Haraeus is going to attack the southernmost kobold on the line.
Okay.
And let me select him. Short sword.
Got him.
Nice.
All right. Haraeus with his short sword guts the creature, jams it all the way through so far that the blade bursts out of and it slides off with a splatter of red gore. You can cleave.
Oh, yeah. The next one in front of me. That misses.
Okay. All right. Zopiros is up.
Zopiros is going to throw his lighted torch down the hallway to the left, past the number 2.
Oh, nice. Make the roll. It is a 10 or higher. Sorry, 11 or higher because he's 0 level.
D20.
Mm-hmm. Oh, perfect. All right, so he lands it exactly where he wants to, and let's let me put some light. Let me put some light down.
That's because
The Undying wants to live.
you see, it's a good sign. All those wonderful signs from Aminar letting us know that this would be a day of victory for us.
Oh, I think I didn't. Let's see, because it's supposed to be 10, 20. Yep, no, that's right. Okay, so it is now the kobold's turn on the left flank. They rolled a 2 for their group initiative. So this kobold run down and attack Avarice.
Don't worry about that.
But he misses. Avarice nimbly dodges out of the way. This one here tries again to stab at Haraeus. Bounces off his heavy plate. Okay, and then from the west, these guys come trotting forward. You now can see them in the light because of the torch that you've thrown. They are going to be firing 2 shots at Lucan and 2 shots at Gwynfer. Lucan 1, Lucan 2.
Oh.
For 4 points on Lucan. Lucan drops to 0. Oh, okay. And then the other 2 rolling on Gwyn 4. Miss. And miss. Okay. So now goes to initiative 1, which is the remaining kobolds up here in the north. All right. So he's asleep. All right. So this one is going to hurl his javelin at Higlak.
Higlacus.
No.
Oh, there it is. For 1 point of damage, but that is enough to mess up Higlak's ready. So. Okay, so with Higlak's ready down, the Kobold Champion is going to rush up and charge Higlak.
And Avro doesn't have any more readies, and Ziadana doesn't have any.
All right,
But
sadly, he misses. Higlak parries the blow. Here is going to throw his javelin at the priest. Bounces off.
Woo!
Oh, misses him entirely. This one also will throw his javelin at the priest. Misses. All right, and then this one runs forward with his javelin to attack. And misses. Jeez.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So at this point, that is the end of the round. I need to make a morale check. So let me do that. So let's see. No longer outnumbered. Group is lost. Yep. Okay. Let's see what we're at here. What's these guys? Oh, geez. Okay. Oof. Okay. All right. So. All right. So their morale has begun to falter. And we go into the next round. All of the kobolds declare fighting withdrawal.
Fighting withdrawal. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess this is when we declare everything. Oh, man, this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough because of the timing of it. All right. Ravilla is going to begin casting.
Begin casting. Got it. Yep.
Which Raymond, are you using Ravila?
Yes, but if she's going to cast heal, she has to stay stationary. So someone's going to have to bring Lucan to her this round.
Well, what I was going to say is she could move to him and treat him with a poultice of horsetail right now.
But he gets a much better roll if she heals him with magic.
Poultice is actually better than her low-level magic. The horror.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay, then I will do that then.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'll poultice him up.
Lucan
so casting.
Lucan would have been up, but he's currently bleeding. Genevale is up.
Genevale is going to pass the reins of her 2 mules to Zapiros, who now has 2 hands free, and is going to trade out the lantern with Castinus so that Castinus can draw his crossbow.
Perfect. Horaeus.
Horaeus is going to stabby the kobold in front of him.
Okay.
Slide down. And stabby.
All right, Horaeus. The kobold is on the defense now, and it wards off your blow.
Avro's going to stab forward and try to avenge Higlak's wounds.
Okay. Are you targeting the champion or the normal kobold?
Let's see. Oh, that's right. The champion came forward, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I'm targeting the champion.
Okay, that was a very good hit. And the kobold is downed. Okay, so Avro, you spear into the side of its temple, and your spear point comes out the other side of its lizard ear, splattering brains as it gives out a grimace. Okay, you can attack again with your cleave.
Okay, we'll go for the other kobold. Not so lucky that time.
That one misses. All right. Mule. At 5.
All right. Higlak sees the remaining kobold in front of him, and he is going to introduce him to the sword.
All right. Your introduction is highly successful, and they form a fast friendship that terminates with his premature death. Okay. So, Higlak, do you wish to step forward to do some cleaves, or do you want, because remember that they're all declared fighting withdrawals?
Yes, I do want to step forward to do some cleaves. So,
okay. You can only go 5 feet.
Yeah, that kind of weird movement. And this guy over here on the left looks lonely, so I'll cleave him.
Okay.
Oh, boo.
That should be enough, actually.
It's enough,
with damage bonus.
Not a problem. All right, so Mor Suarsan is in your hand, and you have become the veritable god of war. Another kobold cuts down before you. Ravela the crone is up. And so...
She needs
my help.
Yep.
Okay, so she's going to roll for Lucan. So we'll roll that at the end of the round, but Lucan is going to get the bonus from being immediate. Okay. Gwyn 4?
Am I in charge range of these archers?
Yeah.
Or are they just out? Okay.
No,
I would like to charge. I would like to charge the one who arrowed, the one who hit Lucan.
Okay.
And you're charging with a spear?
I'm charging with the spear.
All right. So add 3 to your total when you roll it. So if you click on your thing and you do the spear, you can do where it says add bonus. So it's going to be 2 for the charge plus 1 for the sharpness.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
And you
so
do double damage on
double damage.
you get, but you get an additional D6 damage, and you get an additional +1 from the sharpness. It's way overkill. The archer is flung backwards, like across the room by the sheer impact, and you get a whirling cleave. Go ahead.
All right.
Does he still get all the charge bonuses for the cleave?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, no! All right.
And my spear breaks.
The spear breaks.
Yep. All right. He hit too hard.
You hit him so hard that the spear broke.
All right. Tyrenius.
Oh, man.
Okay, Tyrenius is going to loose a dart up to one of the kobolds that's unengaged up by Higlak.
Okay. Probably need to move over there. Quick shot. Okay.
Dude, like, what is up with the mage? He's on fire.
Take the point of damage. As the dart cuts into him. The kobold shouts, "The mage knows magic missile!"
Face the darts.
Castinus is up.
Castinus. So Genevale now has the lantern.
Yep.
Castinus is going. He's got a torch in one hand and the crossbow in the other. He's going to move through the door behind Higlak knowing that he cannot engage anyone, but he'll provide the light.
Okay, got it. Okay. Wow, you guys rolled really well for initiative. All these 5.
Zapiros is holding 4 mules.
Okay, Zayadana?
She can't reach anyone, so she will do what Higlak did and go in that room and start spearing folks.
Okay, so she goes rushing in to spear folks. All right.
Let's see.
Only this guy is awake, so.
Well, that is enough. Let's see. Boom. Boom. And
AC1 is not enough. He has AC2. Slips off his leather armor. Okay. All right. So they are now up. And he falls back 20 feet and readies. No, not weakened, readied. Stupid.
So interesting. So you can ready to receive an attack now, and you
Correct.
clear a fighting withdrawal.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Was that in first edition? The first edition also?
Nope.
Okay. So actually, it got a little bit of a buff to encourage folks to actually use the fighting withdrawal.
That's correct. All right, and then the withdraw and move away from engaging enemies at 1/2 combat speed. Combatant cannot withdraw into an engagement with another enemy, and then I can attack or ready after that. Okay, so I actually couldn't. I need to just move him back because his half his combat speed is that far. Okay, so so this guy falls back to here, and he falls back to here, and he falls back to here, and they're all going to shoot at Gwyn 4.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that. Okay, this is going to be bad. Go ahead.
All right, so the highest AC I hit was 5.
Oh, sweet.
Not enough.
Yay for plate armor.
So it just bounces off your plate armor.
Ting.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Right?
Oh, actually, it's even worse than that. It was 3 because they're faltering and they have a -2 penalty to hit.
But it might have been better because of the charge.
Oh, but you had a charge, so +2. Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. In any case, it is moot, and they have missed you, and it goes now to Mandonio.
Let's see. He's going to kill the one right in front of him.
Okay. Oh, I apologize. Those guys had also fallen back and are currently readied. So if you would like to.
Then he just followed him up and made that.
Okay. So then it gets an attack on you as you close in. But it bounces off your armor irrelevantly. This one will also attack you when you move in. Doesn't matter. Okay. Mandonio's invincible. Okay, Raymond.
I'm still going to hold the concentration.
Okay. Avarice.
Avarice is going to take this moment to nail one of these archers here in the back.
Okay.
And let's select him. Short bow. Roll. Nope. And misses.
Okay. It's fine. Okay. All right. And I think that's everyone. So I have a morale check to make.
Oh.
4. Okay. So their morale is faltering and they are continuing to attempt to fall back.
So the falter doesn't stack, right?
Well, it would have, except for the fact that because they fell back, they were able to break out of the falter.
God, I see.
Yeah.
So now Lucan.
It is now. Oh yeah, you guys, we should roll for Lucan. Give me a D20 roll for Lucan.
All right, and what's the bonuses?
I'm looking it up for you right now. I just have to open up wounds and woe. So he got hit by a penetrating wound.
Penetrating, but he was exactly at 0, right?
Yep. He's currently he's got +2 for his hit die value, +5 because exactly 0, +3 for healing makes it 7, 10, +2 for horsetail 12, +2 treated within 1 round of injury, +14. Literally the best you could possibly get.
Yep.
Oh,
9.
30. All right, 29. Okay, and then roll D6 for me.
D6. He might come out with a buff, actually.
Okay, so he immediately recovers with 1 hit point, does not need any bed rest. A vision of the afterlife briefly haunts him, but then fades as he opens his eyes. He had a near-death experience, but he's back.
So is he okay? Does he avoid that horrible morale or loyalty check when he get back to town because he rolled well, or does that still happen?
Still happen because it was a calamity.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Zayadana is now up at 7.
And yeah, she's in melee, so she'll attack.
Well, that dude's asleep. So.
Oh, that dude's asleep. Okay.
You can just kill him if you want.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Okay,
Lucan, you're up. You're laying on the ground, but you are awake and can do stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was focusing on how low my roll was. He's laying on the ground, so he will stand up.
Okay.
And I don't know if he can do much more. Pick up his bow.
Stand up
and can he move at all?
Bow. No, that's his full. Okay. Higlak.
Can he stand up and move instead?
Instead of pick up his bow? Yeah, sure.
He's going to stand. He's going to shift behind Piraeus. He doesn't want to get shot again.
Okay. Got it.
All right. This is the chief, right?
Yep. He's asleep.
All right. I'm going to decapitate him.
All right. The chief has been killed with a single execution.
And I'm going to grab his head.
Okay.
And walk back into the room holding it high.
All right. You can't move after you attack.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So you've coup de grace him and grabbed the head. Okay. Avarice.
Avarice is, if I can see him,
he's right here.
Yeah, I know. But the darkness from Higlak is. Hang on a second. I'm going to move Higlak so I can see Avarice. All right, so Avarice is going to take aim at those archers.
Okay.
And yay.
All
Yay.
Right. Boom. Another one of the archers drops.
All right, I'll move Higlak back to where he was.
Okay. Is it Pyros?
Holding 4 mules.
Rabala.
Oh, so she brought him back up, and he's at 1. And then any further healing, he can't benefit from horsetail anymore today, can he?
Not from horsetail, no.
Okay.
And the other stuff takes 10 minutes to do, so don't.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. She will get out of the line of fire by on this side of the mules.
Okay, makes sense. Avaro.
No, we got plenty of other stuff.
Avro is going to pivot to the left and fire at the kobold off to his far left.
Well, Avro is currently holding a spear and shield. Is he going to hurl the spear?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I don't think I
charge this guy, take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do that instead. That would make more sense.
All right. So you come running in. He gets his attack on you. Oh, it actually hits Avaro for 2 points. So Avaro takes a wound through his plate, but now it's Avaro's action.
All
Isn't that
right.
one I see 1d6 -1. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I think he gets the damage bonus for hitting him on a charge or something like that.
Oh,
You always do minimum of 1. Avaro misses tragically. Okay. Haraeus.
Haraeus is going to step up to yonder kobold.
Okay.
And he's going to introduce yonder kobold to the pointy end of his sword.
All right. Okay. It's another wonderful, friendly introduction that ends with the tragic demise of your new friend.
It's not tragic. It's just the way of life.
Haraeus gets a cleave.
And he's going to attack the other guy. Again, introducing him to the pointy end of his sword. Or maybe not.
Well, let's see. Might still hit. AC 1.
Nope.
Not quite enough. Okay. Raymond?
All right. It seems that we've got things under control from a attack point of view. So he will go ahead and charge in. And not that far. Sorry.
Yep. We're both moving him is the problem. Go ahead and move him.
Okay.
Go ahead and move him.
Hold on. I can't see myself, so
Why can't you?
I lost all. Yeah, I lost all light. By the way, so I can only see my tile.
You should have light again now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll just charge up next to that him and attack with mace.
Okay.
Inventory mace. Boom. All right.
There it is. All right. So Raymond finishes off that kobold with a mighty blast of his mace. Castanet.
I'm going to move forward to the left of Raymond, bringing in the light. Are there any more enemies in that room that we can see?
Not that you can see at all. No, it's just that big statue that stands up really high. Okay. Mandonio?
Is there another one next to?
Yep, Mandonio.
Yeah, there's one right in front of him.
Yep. Okay, Mandonio has butchered that kobold. All
He's
right.
paced.
Tyrenius.
Okay. Tyrenius is going to move to his left and then hit that kobold. So he's going to take a movement action.
Yep. Do it.
Okay. Where does character sheet go?
Oh! Wow.
I think this is the most I've ever seen a mage do with darts in a single session.
All right.
Dude, what?
So we go to 1.
Next is darts.
Number. So I go before you, Gwynfor. And so the archer's trembling with terror, and he's got his bow in his hand, and he says in crude common, "If you let me live, I show you chief treasure." Gwynfor, you're
Very
up.
well. Very well. Drop your weapons.
He drops his weapons. All right. So that ends the fight.
Oh, man.
And I throw the head away because, I don't need it to demoralize the remaining kobolds anymore.
No.
I think Tyrenius killed about as many guys as many kobolds as one of the fighters.
He did great. So
That's insane.
it was so funny. So the difference between this battle with the kobolds and your first battle with the kobolds, so you have very quickly moved up the learning curve of ACKS tactics. That was a really well fought battle. Using the shield walls, the cleaves, the readies, the missiles, etc. That was really well done. So the kobold says, I will take you to Chief Treasure. You let me live, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So he says, come this way, treasure, this way.
While
I
Tyrenius
think
was sitting in
marching-
his bed
Think
for
normal
28 days.
marching order, follow him in.
Yep.
You
Okay.
need, should we put on a mule?
He can walk.
He can walk. He
Or he
can
can
walk.
walk?
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just keep him back.
Totally fine,
back
except
towards the middle.
he's down to 1 hit point.
He's done 1 hit point, so he'll hang out next to Ravila in the middle.
All right.
Let's see if we can find out more from this kobold if he knows any more details about this temple before we let him go or dispatch him or whatever we're going to do.
Yeah.
You see, there's still strength in these old fingers. gonna be
Well,
an
if someone wants to interrogate him, interrogate him. So, or you can interrogate him after he takes you to the treasure. It's up to you.
We'll wait until after he takes us to the treasure. I don't want to, start doing horrible things to him before he gives up the goods.
Okay. So this door has been opened. And so he says, come, treasure is, and then takes you in here. So this room you've been in before.
Oh,
It looks like 2 people are not attached to the group and they're falling behind.
yeah,
I've
there.
noticed.
And not only
Jenna
that, but I
and
can't.
Zaporos
Oh, there. Now I can see.
Okay. Sorry about that. They just didn't get
and the
picked
mules
up.
too.
Yeah, I left some mules behind just because it's a pain. Yeah, they're with you. They're just
Simplicity.
okay. So you've been in this room before, and it is, as you recall, this was the L-shaped room that had the weird chair stone basins caked with ancient dried blood on the south wall, and the kobold says, "Pay those no mind. Ancient part of the temple."
Okay.
And he says, then you come into this room. So this room has frescoes on either side, suggest it was once dedicated to the most carnal of purposes. The fresco on the north wall depicts the bloody and decadent orgies that are common in the rites of Nazca, Mistress of Pain, and the Unchaste. And the fresco on the south wall depicts various couples engaged in a dozen different erotic acts. They are known as the 12 erotic acts of Nazca, and they are prescribed by the Imperial Church because they are so pleasurable that anyone who experiences them is instantly debauched.
Yeah. The Adana says, "Avert your eyes." Not for your eye.
How does
Not for you.
Mandolio feel about that?
Maybe we should stay here and I should investigate. All right. So he leads you through the room where you once fought the kobolds with the braziers and into, he says, King's chambers. He's dead now. So you see a stone bench at the western end of the chamber, which you presume was once the chief's throne, the king's throne. Behind the bench, there are 3 windows in the west wall that open up to the black rock that bear. And he says, King's treasure is beyond. Oh, hang on one sec. Okay. Treasure down there. And he points. And so you guys should be able to see it at this point. No. Because
I think we should be careful here.
okay. So so the western wall of this 20-foot wide, 60-foot long room is pierced with windows opening into the black stone. There are various items largely stolen from local caravans piled in bags and containers throughout the room. And there are, various tapestries, some vases, red-dyed cloth, and a number of other things scattered about.
Avarice will move through the room checking for traps just to make sure.
Yep.
All right. So Avarice, so you're just going to start like 10 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah.
All right. So give me a blind GM roll for the first 10 feet.
All right.
What are the rest of you doing while he's doing that?
I'm going to provide lantern light for Avarice.
Okay.
But yeah.
And Ravilla see to Lucan, see if we can get him above 1 hit point.
Yeah, she could spend 10 minutes and give him comp free heal 1d3.
Okay.
Okay. So Avarice,
Plan.
you've searched this first 10 foot by 10 foot area, and you don't find any traps or danger.
Okay.
Next one. All right. You've searched this.
These are all blind GM rolls.
Yeah. You've searched.
Oh, never mind. They are supposed to be. Never mind.
Yeah, you've searched this second 10 foot by 10 foot area and also not found any danger.
Okay.
Okay. Next one.
If no one else is going to be talking to this kobold, I'd like to ask it questions at the same time. So we can talk about that later if you want.
All right. So it's been about 20 minutes as he's been searching, so you have plenty of time to interrogate the kobold. So let's go ahead and interrogate the kobold. And so, and he says, I only speak your language barely. Well, does any of you speak my tongue?
Let's see. Nope.
I
Do you
don't think
speak
anybody's...
Knoll or Hobgoblin or Orcish? I'll ask him that.
He shakes his head.
Okay.
See, this is why the beastmen don't get along. They can't even speak to each other.
The
Not
kobold
very well,
knows.
at least.
He says,
Tell
All
me
right.
about the lady below.
all right, give me a reaction roll there.
Just 2d6.
Yep. Okay, you got a 6. All right, so you outnumber him by 3 to 1 or more. That's +5. Brandishing weapons and magic items brings you up to +7. And his morale score is -2, so that brings you up to +9. He has witnessed you kill his targets, so that brings you up to +10. He is in his own lair, +9. All right, so you got a 15. He is absolutely cowed by you, Tyrenius, and he says, "Great witch doctor, I will tell you anything." No. And he kneels before you and he says, the lady below is the ruler of the buried temple. It is to she that my king swore allegiance when he was called here by the beating heart.
Where is she?
And he says, she is below.
I see.
And he points to the ground.
Is there a path that leads there?
Yes, the path is through the ziggurat. And he points to the north.
Is that inside the temple also?
Yes.
I see. Are there more of your kind here? More kobolds?
Yes. The king had sent some forth to serve. And he says, to serve Edimu the demonic.
Anyone recognize that name?
What he said? What?
I'm writing it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Serve Edimu the demonic.
Wow. That's where Edimu.
Is that another name for the lady, or is that a different being?
No, Edimu is the lady's greatest servant. He rules the ziggurat.
Is he a powerful warrior?
He is a dragon.
How big?
Dragon.
He says, gigantic, the size of a dozen kobolds.
So Can you estimate age based on that, Tyrenius?
I could perhaps try.
Yeah, make a naturalism roll.
All right.
A dozen kobolds.
The dragon must be very young to be only the size of a dozen kobolds.
Okay, so I feel some relief at that, taken from the perspective of a kobold.
Yes.
How many more? Can you tell us how many more of you there are?
1, 2, 3. 4, 5. A lot.
I see. And of all the creatures, the other creatures within this temple, who are you most afraid of besides a demo?
The hobgoblins.
Ah, where are they?
He points to the northeast.
Fellows, any other questions come up as I'm talking to this?
Tell us about the undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
He looks at you like he doesn't quite understand the word. This is not his native language.
The monsters sealed away behind the door that bang on the door. They make all that terrible noise.
He goes,
Yes.
he nods and he says, "We hammered them in."
A wise move, of course. Were they the bandits at one time?
He says, "Yes, but they came back. It happens in this place sometimes."
We need to burn those bodies.
Yep.
Do they come back on their own, or does someone come and see to them and perform a ritual of magic on them?
He says, "I'm no witch doctor. I don't know how these things work."
That's okay. You've been very helpful so far.
He bows very, very low to kowtow to you and is like, "Thank you, most powerful sorcerer."
The orcs.
He points north.
Okay, not that we would do this, but this guy's kowtowing to Tyrenius so much that are there rules for beastmen henchmen?
Yeah, you can take him as a henchman if you want. Zahak sticks his head out of your pocket and he's like, "You should serve the Great One." The kobold nods. Yes.
We need someone who can speak kobold.
Teach me the arts of witch doctory.
Yes, and perhaps you can teach my imp to speak kobold.
Oh, okay. The imp says, "That's a clever little idea, isn't it?" All right. Meanwhile, back down here. So, are continuing your search, and tragically, that last roll was terrible, and I need Avarice and Castinus to both make surprise checks at -3.
Okay.
At -3?
Yeah. They'll be surprised in a 1 to 5 on D6.
Let's see. Where would I find to roll for surprise?
It's a D6.
D6.
It's a D6. It's a D6. Na 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 na. Roll a D6. Roll a D6.
Oh, I was sorry, blind GM.
Oh, well, it's all right. I will reveal it. You got surprised, Avarice. Castinus?
That was me. That rolled the 1.
Oh, okay.
We both rolled 1s.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're both surprised. That's a bummer. All right. Well, out of one of the
Can't have
facts
Castinus killed.
suddenly bursts a spitting cobalt, and it rears up and spits its venom at Avarice.
Oh, yay.
Greedy bastard.
Avarice the Eyeless.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
That was
All
the
right.
attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. All right, Avarice, you got to make a saving throw
Which one?
versus death.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you'll die necessarily, I think, but it
Always
Right.
bad.
but it might. Oh no!
Yep. All right. So Avarice screams in agony as the venom melts his eyes and he is permanently blinded.
Oh, it's a good thing we found an item with 4,000
Right.
CP.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and enter the battle.
It's not like he needed those eyes.
He's only
Should
going to be.
Should I roll for Lucan's healing? Because that would have happened by now.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. D3.
Oh, this one.
1 point. Okay.
That is-
All right.
I'm glad
I'm glad how you added more venom and poison effects.
All right. Higlak, you're up.
All right. All I can see is Avarice, so somebody can click on Higlak for me, and Higlak will charge the snake. If
All right.
he's
So
not
Higlak can't see the snake.
okay.
And so he goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And he can keep going, but he can't attack it because he wasn't able to charge it because he couldn't see it at the start.
Yeah. So basically, we're saying
Well,
average.
can he do ranged?
Let's see. So you could go to there and do ranged if you have a ranged weapon in your hand.
I can easily pull out a one-handed axe to do that.
Okay, so you then you can throw your axe at this thing.
Okay.
Medium range, -2.
Could you bring him out into the light so that, because I can't. There we go. Thank you. And so, what did you say it was?
I am pretty sure that it is medium range, a thrown axe. Yep.
Okay, so
Go ahead
that-
and axe
that
the snake.
-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just making sure I heard that right.
Yep.
Okay.
Be sure to axe the snake, all right?
Sorry, I still had it on the blind roll.
No problem. I'll reveal it.
Thank you.
All right. So you hit the snake. It takes 3 points of damage, not enough to kill it. It's a glancing blow, and it rears up.
The snake is tougher than the kobolds. Dang.
I was about to say.
It's
And
a
Luke,
bitchin' snake.
yeah, Lucan.
Can he shoot it with his bow?
Where is Lucan?
Where is he? Oh,
He's
he's
here.
He's by
So
the
10,
yeah.
20. So he could move to there and shoot it with his bow. Sure.
You need to be not
Unless
quite
he
that
has
close
beast friendship.
with his bow. He doesn't.
But this might be an opportunity for him to get it.
It's true. Okay.
I think it's a little late for friendship. You've already. Avarice is like, kill it. All right.
AC
It
5?
dies.
Well, Avarice is probably like, my perfect 20/20 vision.
He's screaming in agony. Okay. Well, would anyone else like to continue the search of the treasure room?
Why don't we ask the kobold? If there's any more snakes?
He's he had emotion here. That was King Urza's pet spitting cobra.
Did he have any other pets?
No.
Are there
Avarice
any other
will
traps
wander
that you know?
over to him screaming in pain and said, understand that if you forget anything else, everything that has happened to me will happen to you.
He covers up his eyes and he says, "In that case, don't forget to search Urza's body."
I'll let you guys search. Since I don't know. What's the negative, what's the minus on searching while I'm blind?
-4.
I mean,
what could go wrong?
We shouldn't. Well, first of all, can we, we've got a couple of tricks here with Ravila. Can she treat him? And try to neutralize poison with
yes, she can attempt to neutralize poison. She needs a 14 or higher and on her healing check.
But she gets a +1 for having the healing chest. And then if we use a dose of goldenrod, that would add an additional +2, correct?
That's correct. So you would need a total of 11.
11.
However, you'd have to go get the but you have the medicine chest on the mules because you have your fucking mules with you. Okay. Amazing.
No, they're not doing that. They're all the same gender.
All right.
So that means
who's rolling this?
You need an 11 or higher.
I'll roll it.
All right, go ahead. That's amazing, man.
Oh.
11.
Oh, no.
No, that was a natural 8 +3.
No.
11.
She needed a 14.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. She says, I used my best efforts, but his wound is too severe. He will need magical healing or a cane.
Well, Avarice, it might be time for you to retire. How about that?
Yeah, he'll have to roll for calamity as well. Okay.
What?
Well,
he's one of the original Grey brothers.
Doesn't matter. His player quit, so he's a henchman now. Listen, I don't make the rules. Actually, wait.
I was about to say. You literally do.
So, do you want to finish your search of the room, or what do you guys want to do?
I'll take the risk and I'll search the rest of the room.
Okay.
Does somebody want to search the body?
Either with you.
Where's Urza's body?
I'll search the body. I'll search the room. Somebody else search the body.
Yeah, Urza's body is way back where you left it, way back there.
Ugh.
All right. Well, I'll go with someone with a light to retrieve the body. Bring it here.
Oh, so you're going to split the party?
No, we aren't.
No,
that's a horrible idea.
Well, I mean,
trustworthy kobold told you it was a good idea.
We can take the kobold.
Let's wait until we got finished this room. We can go back.
Yeah, I'll finish this room.
All right, if you're going to search it by yourself, Castinus, it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80 minutes.
I'll help. I'll pitch in and search.
We can retrieve the body in a very short time compared to how long it'll take to search the room.
Yeah.
Or if we have 6 of us searching, done in 10 minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 8 of you searching to get it done.
8 of us searching.
Yeah, which you could certainly do.
Well, I'll help. I'll take that risk.
I'm going to ask the kobold how long it takes the bodies to come back to life.
Oh, days.
Oh, that's good.
I also would like the kobold to be in here with us, so if something bad happens, the kobold gets it too.
I hear.
We should have done that the first time.
All right, so who are the 8? So I have a Castinus searching. I have a Gwynfor searching. Who else?
Higlak will come in and search.
Okay, Higlak is coming in to search. Okay, who else?
Tyrannus is definitely not searching.
Okay.
I think I definitely want to take a couple of folks with me to get the body.
So you are going to split the party.
Don't split the party. Stay with us. If we do this, we'll be done in 10 minutes. Then we can go get the body.
Okay. All right. Fine. I'll search as well.
Okay, that's 4 people searching. Who else? Lucan?
Yeah, and Ziadana, why not?
Okay, Zaydana.
And
Who else?
you may not remember, but you were absent. I think you logged in late. When we were leaving this temple the first time, orcs came through that door with the Zaharan statue. So orcs are very close by. So if we go back there, it's very possible we'll run into some orcs. So we don't want to split.
All right. So now you have enough people to search everything in 10 minutes.
That's a good roll, right?
Oh, that wasn't a search roll. That was something much less pleasant.
That's a bad roll? What?
Oh no.
Number of traps found equals 6. Could hypothesize anything bad.
Oh no.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so we got Zapiros, Ravla, Jenna, and Mandoni are up here. Okay, so the door opens up, and in the light of the braziers, you see 4 creatures come through the door. And
Herrera should be up there somewhere.
nope, Horaeus is down here searching. You said you had 8 guys searching.
Okay.
So, well, the good thing is we have Mandeos up there.
Okay, and so the creatures that come through, they look like men that have been, or goblins that have crossbred with men, or orcs that have been crossbred with men. They are in tight military formation with shields and swords, and they burst in and they say, "King Urza, it is time to pay your tribute to the hut." And then they kind of look around. And they see humans with a torch. All right. So, Tyrenius, you basically have 1 moment to say something.
We're taking over for King Ursa. What's the bargain?
All right. Roll 2d6 there.
Oh, they're consistently bad.
All right. He says, "Lies! It's them!" All right. So let's trigger that battle.
Now I should have gone ahead with the rest of the searchers.
I think everybody just up there just pull back into the
Right.
A lot of dice.
All right. Zaydana, you're up.
She was searching, and then she hears that commotion.
Yep.
So she is where is she down here?
She's all the
there
way
she
down
is.
Yep.
actually
She can
the
move
stone
60,
bench
right?
is going to give cover. We could start taking cover behind the stone bench.
Crap.
So she can move to here, right? To right there, that corner, and still have an action?
No, she can't move that far and still have an action. She can move that far.
Because she can move 60, right?
Yeah,
and
60 is her charge. Is her charge.
Okay. She can move 40 then.
20. 1/3.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
It's always been that way.
got it. Okay.
Where is she? I'm not seeing her.
She's right here.
Oh, okay.
So 20. So she can move that far and ready?
Yep.
Then she'll move that far and ready to attack an enemy within melee range.
Okay. All right. Avaro.
Avro's going to move up to try to provide some protection. How far can he get?
He could go all the way up to there if you want. Can't attack, but he can at least sort of away.
Yeah, he's going to do that.
Okay. So then the mules. Okay.
It might actually be better for us to, if there's only, well, we don't know if there's any more of them, but if there's only 4 of them, it might be better for us to, I don't know.
10, 20.
Oh, we definitely need to basically use that choke point to our advantage, but we've got to get the rest of our party back behind the
Yep, that's the thing.
behind the corner before we have hold the line.
Sorry, I put the wrong type of hobgoblin down there for a second. Yeah. Okay. So so this hobgoblin, goes to there, and he hurls his spear at this dangerous-looking mage and dying.
Oh, dude, he's gonna get pinned.
No.
He's gonna get pinned.
Oh, yeah,
Jesus.
that's a good hit. All right, so that's 6 points of damage on Zopiros the Undying, who's reduced to -5. And he looks down as the spear hits him, and he smiles. Okay, the hobgoblin will cleave, but he doesn't have another spear to throw. So with his action, he will draw his sword. Okay. Next is Mandonio.
Well, are we gonna go into the room or head south? Or try for the choke point?
Well, we've got our mules out there. The other thing to consider.
All of our supplies.
Yep. I'm going to say Mandonio is going to move to move to behind the stone, and does he still have enough to with keeping cover?
Yeah, sure.
Would he be able to fire, or would he just be able to ready?
He can move. He can fire. Or sorry, he can fire a short bow at any of these 3 guys back here.
Okay, so he'll move up there and he'll fire at the one of the guys that has not acted yet.
Yep, got it. Oh, his arrow misses. Okay, let's see. Tyrenius.
Tyrenius is going. What's that? Yeah, I think Tyrenius is going to. Tyrenius was thinking about throwing a dart, but I think it makes more sense to just run away.
Lucan.
Where is Lucan?
Lucan searching. He's here.
So he will move up. So he can move 20. Is it 20 he can move? He'll move 20.
Lucan's movement rate is 120. So if you see it says X 120, so then his so then he can do combat move of 40 feet.
40. So yeah, he'd like to move up towards the choke point and ready. But
he's actually able to move 40 feet, so he can shoot if you'd like.
Oh, okay. He'd like to. He's going to take cover behind that corner, and he'll shoot. Is there one that's wounded? No, we haven't hit one yet.
No.
We? Okay. 17.
There it is. All right. Okay, badly wounds the kobold, but these are tough creatures preternaturally bred to be elite warriors. And so even though the blow would have killed a normal man, it is still alive. Horaeus.
All right. Horaeus, how far can he move with his plate?
He can move 20 feet combat, 60 feet charge.
Okay, so he's going to move his 20 feet.
Okay.
And he can move 40
Combat.
feet with sacrificing his action.
Right. Okay, so he'll go ahead and do that. And he's going to,
He's 20 feet is all he can move if he wants to ready. If you can move another 20 feet, but then you're done for the round.
That's fine, because I'm not going to be in the action unless I go
Great.
up there.
Yep.
Well, not quite that far.
Sorry, I moved you and you moved yourself. Okay, so you run up there. Sounds good. Okay, next up is another hobgoblin warrior. And so he also, let's see, 10, 20, 30. And Zapiros is down. He sees Revilla the crone.
Yeah, but she looks good to the beastman. We've established this.
True. Sees Mandonio. Mandonio has a bow. So he's going to shoot. He's going to hurl his spear at Mandonio.
Does Mandonio get any benefit from being behind the bench?
He does. He gets a +2 bonus to AC.
Okay.
So it misses him. All right. Castinus.
I'm going to run as fast as I can up to where Mandonio is with crossbow. I will not be able to act this turn, but just get into the fight.
Okay. Raymond.
Same thing. Try to get up there into the fight.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I have another hobgoblin warrior. And so he's beginning to realize there's a lot more of you than they had expected. He will, let's see. What would I do if I were a hobgoblin warrior? A spear. So far, Lucan's got a bow. He's going to throw his spear at Lucan. No. -2 penalty because Lucan has some corner cover there. Oh, spear breaks. Okay. Ravila.
She is going to try to revive Zopiros.
Okay. All right.
I can't let young guys go down in the dungeon like this.
All right. So we'll come back to that at the end of the round. Jenna?
Jenna moves up next to Mandonio and fires short bow.
Okay.
At the closest one.
Well, the closest ones you can't see. They're in the darkness between the braziers and your torches.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
All right. So you missed anyway. Okay. So Jenna, Lighthorse, Avarice.
Avarice is going to walk up to this wall and make his way to the corner.
Sounds good. Or
I'll advance as quickly as I can to try to get into the support position too.
okay. Higlak.
Higlak is going to bust tail to get his sorry butt up there so he can get into the fight.
Okay. All right. Next Hobgoblin Warrior. So he will run forward and he will hurl his spear at Jenna Vale. Oh, is 3 points on Jenna, who drops to 1 hit point, but she's still up. Okay. All right. And so at this point, we need to do a check for. So he has no bonus for hit points. He has Zapiros the Undying, has what, a constitution of 3?
Oh,
Is that right? No, con of 5. So he's at -2. And then his hit points are, he's at -20 because hit points are at negative value greater than 2 times max hit points. So that's -22. 3 ranks of healing is -19. Treated with 1 round of injury, -17. Horsetail, he's at -15. Go ahead and roll.
wait a minute, -50. I didn't even think that was possible. What?
Well, you've never seen someone with 1 hit point reduced this low before.
It's a crib.
Wow, -50.
Lonzo Piros.
That's a really insane modifier.
It's a bad place to be.
It's so close.
Oh no! You rolled a 1? Oh my god. All right,
paused
give me
on
a
19, and then it went
give
to
me a
1.
D6.
Oh man, if you roll a 1 on this, that'll be amazing. Oh, okay.
6. All right, it could have been much worse, but you were killed by a deep penetrating wound. So Zapiros is dead. Okay.
Make sure to loot his body.
Excellent. Very noble of you.
Make sure to burn his body.
Well, that too.
All
right.
We have him a nice burial, right?
Lucan is up. Now, the problem, of course, Lucan, is you can't see them.
So he knows that they've all fired. So we're next round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Yeah. Well, ready.
Very good. Raymond.
Anything which comes into range.
I will go ahead and move 20 feet.
No.
No?
Hold the line at the choke point.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
well, all
the-
right. Right. Well, right here, I guess on this side of this bench.
Right here. Natural choke point.
Yep. All right, I'll move there and do a full.
Full defense. Okay. Piglak. Actually, sorry, it's my Hobgoblin Warriors at one of my Hobgoblin Warriors at 6, because there are fewer of them than there are of you. Okay, so he 10, 20, 40 is going to charge Mandonio with his sword.
As he charges, I will shoot. With Lucan will shoot him as he charges.
Okay, you get +2 to hit because I'm charging.
EC4.
That is a hit. Hobgoblin Warrior is dropped, actually, by Lucan.
Nice.
Yeah, Lucan.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Did not expect that. All right. Higlak, then you're up.
All right. Hey, move alongside Raymond and go ahead and ready. Go ahead and do full defense and shout out to everybody and say, get back behind the corner.
Okay. Jenna?
So, I mean, I wondered, like, should we continue to shoot or with?
Well, we can't see them. We don't have a light source out that far. So if she has a light source, that would be great for her to,
I would withdraw, and that way we can, dictate the terms of the engagement at that choke point.
They've used all their ranged weapons, so they have to charge. So if she has a bow and steps far enough back that they can't reach her,
Yep, that's
then
true
she
too.
can shoot. Come out as they come into the light.
Just ready to shoot?
Yep, that's what she'll do.
Okay. Mandonio?
He's going to do the exact same thing right next to Jenna.
Okay. Mandonio, ready to shoot. All right. Hobgoblin Warriors. So 10. Okay, so they can see you guys in the torchlight. They see you readying to shoot them. They have only melee weapons. All right, so you see in the light of the braziers, you should be able to see that one of the hobgoblins is running off.
Great.
Okay, so he is now visible to you because he's in the light of the brazier, so you can shoot him.
Well, Mandonio will take a shot.
Okay. Mandonio drops him. Whoosh.
Nice.
Oh. Okay. All right. Zaydana Drachma is up.
All right, she comes up and forms a second rank behind
Got it.
Raymond.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So now now we're down to 2, and I've got my last 2 hobgoblin warriors here. All right. So they've seen if they try and run, they get killed by archery fire. So they are going to die gloriously. And let's see. Oh, but there's a bench in the way, so they can't. So, wow, they're kind of fucked, actually. They can't charge because the bench is in the way. And they... fuck. And they can't charge you guys because the mules are in the way. So I think they're gonna flee. I don't think there were way more of you, it turned out, than I thought they were. All right, so that guy moves to there. So Mandonio, you had gone back to ready after your successful arrow shot, so you can cleave.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, and so that one is down to, oh, actually, that's the one that had already been hit. He is dead. Okay, Mandonio says, "Haha! I am the world's greatest archer."
I love this guy.
Last one right away. Okay, and so Jenna, you can take a shot.
Yep, Jenna will take a shot.
Oh, she misses. Okay, and so he makes it another 10 feet. Okay. Ravilla, then. Okay, it's going to basically be Avaro. It's going to be the next person who can do something here.
Oh, Gwynfor. Don't forget Gwynfor.
Oh, Gwynfor.
I will step up so I can see, and I can. Looks like he's right at the edge of my sight, and I will try to pin him with an arrow.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh,
Good heavens!
Okay. Avaro?
arrow breaks or the bow breaks?
No, nothing. It's only spear.
It's only spears.
Okay.
So at this point, can Avro fire his short bow, or was
Sure.
just-
Avaro could fire a short bow.
All right, he's going to do that then.
Yeah, he spends his
Right.
movement action to swap weapons and his short bow to shoot the guy.
Try to take him out.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, wow. There it is. Okay. The hobgoblin is
Deems
cut
himself.
down. Arrow flies through the air and kills him.
You should give Avro a bonus. This guy's killed so many dudes as a henchman, man. What's up?
Seriously. The chat, I think somebody's saying Avro is like the secret player character or something like that.
Yeah, it's
What
actually
Walker's saying.
his story. The rest of you guys are. All right, so I'm going to drop. So, I'm going to drop the treasure that you guys have found into the chat here.
Hopefully it's enough to repair Avarice's eyes.
Well, I mean, you have more than enough from the relic you found if you wanted to sell that. But all right. So first off, you find 10 weeks of moldy food, 6 jars full of water, 6 jars of weak bar, and 7 bottles of wine that have gone to vinegar. Nothing of that is particularly valuable. You then find more valuable. 1,000 copper coins, 10 rolls of red dyed cloth, 14 bone fetishes, a red gloss vase depicting the city of Ara, 2 agates, and 7 Oplenian tapestries with abstract patterns. So the total value is 10 plus 100 plus 32 times 14 plus 448.
And the Oplanians don't have representative art? What is up
Oh,
with
they
that?
do. Oh no, they don't. Yeah, they don't do
They
it.
don't. Yeah, it's all abstract geometric patterns.
A total of 1,448 gold pieces worth of loot.
Nice.
We still have to search the chief.
And you still have to search the chief. But I think this is probably a good place to stop. It's gotten late. And so we will halt here. And I guess next session, presumably, you guys will search the chief and get the heck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Two questions before we do that. So this the chest that the kobold was talking about, the loot you just showed, was the...
He didn't say chest. He said chief's treasure.
Oh, okay. I would also, I want to make sure I don't forget, I would like to check the hobgoblin spears to see if I can get a good one to replace the one I broke.
Yeah, hobgoblin spears are well maintained. You get a new spear.
Okay. Awesome. And maybe we should strap the other, I think there were 3, one of them broke. Let's strap the other 2 onto a mule so we have spare spears.
Yep, we can do that.
So you have it looks like 70 plus 1 stone for the vase. So you have 76. I told you there was a lot, says the kobold archer. So you already had 20 stone on the mules, so that would put you at
That's going to put us almost at the max. Yeah.
yeah, because they're 25 each, so 100 plus 70. Yeah, so you're basically going to be at max and get the hell out of there.
That's why I wanted to get those, because I knew there's just going to be a lot of weight to carry out.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, you know what? If you guys are going to evacuate right now, let's just roll to see if you get out.
But we need to do chief.
We need to destroy the bodies. And destroy the bodies too.
So it takes like 2 pounds of coal to burn a body. So to burn that many bodies would take multiple hours and a lot of fuel.
How long would it take to just drag them out of the temple?
I mean, you could certainly do that, but let's say each one of you grabs 1 body, 2 trips. So it would probably be 1 extra encounter check.
Is it worth it or run?
I say let's run, because if we can come back in a relatively short amount of time, because it takes days for these guys to revive.
Yeah.
So I think let's just get out now and take care of it next time we're in.
And let's not forget that we've got to, take the undying guy's body and Avarice by the hand, because he's blind now.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to move at exploration speed on the way out, or do you just want to move at combat speed since it's an area you've already covered?
Combat, I think.
I think combat speed.
Yeah, times of the essence.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You guys are able to get out of there.
Now, were we able to search the body?
Yeah, you can search the body of the chief on the way out.
Okay.
And on the body of the chief, on the way out, what you discover is a serpent-headed copper torque and a tarnished silver ring. So, first is 25 gold pieces. The second is 10 gold pieces. And your kobold friend says, "See, valuable treasures. I told you to search the body."
And I'm also going to say, did we find anything else of value on any of the warriors that we've killed?
You didn't say you were stopping to search all those, like,
okay,
bodies.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We can get it maybe.
Kobolds, they probably don't have much.
They probably don't have much. They're kobolds. That's right.
Yeah.
Do we decide that there's no way we could even carry 1 dead enemy out on the way out each, or anything?
No.
I mean,
not worth it.
I was saying you could if you do so. It's just 1 extra encounter check.
Yeah.
Not to carry everyone out, just to carry someone out and just take 1 trip.
Well, the problem is each one weighs 15 stone, so it slows you down to 30-foot move. So it moves your reduce to half to a third of what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go out, get the XP, because it's right now we're pushing maybe, I don't know, what, 5,500 XP?
Yeah, about 5,000 XP
Perfect.
shared between you guys. So that would be about 555 XP each. So it's a good amount.
It's a good amount, yeah.
use the oil to burn them, or do we need coal?
No, I mean, you can use oil. It just takes burning a human body or a body takes an enormous amount of fuel. Like they have to build these huge pyres. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know, burning someone to kill them versus burning someone to cremate them is a different amount of fuel.
Absolutely.
I realize it would take the same amount of time, so we wouldn't want to do it. But does hacking up a body, does that prevent it from rising? Would we know?
Yeah, if you hack a body to pieces, that'll prevent it from.
It might be an easier way to do it.
Would you like? I mean,
that would still take some time.
I
If you
just
guys
have
wanna do it-
misgivings of leaving an army of undead kobold behind us next time we come back.
Well, remember, it takes days for them to rise again, so we can take care of it next time we come. If we come, like in the next 2 days.
Sure.
do you guys want to? Well, you're not going to
No,
make
I'm-
it back to turostem and back in 2 days, Newton. If that.
No, well, right.
Or-
But you got to remember, last time we were in the dungeon was 20.
That's right.
28 days ago, like a month.
It was over a month ago. That's why the kobolds completely restock and
Yeah.
the dead roads. That's correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might be, the rising of the dead bodies might be like a lunar cycle thing. Like, it's got to go through like a new moon or something like that before they rise or something.
You've convinced me. You've convinced me, Raymond. I will yield to your religious knowledge of the occult.
And I'm just going to suggest next time we make a point to lop off their feet.
That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, awesome. Well, we will stop there for the night. Next session will be your quick wilderness trip back to turostem, some XP, and presumably a return to the temple. That was overall a very successful run. It is true that Zopiros died, but he was living on borrowed time with Constitution 5. So.
There's tragedy at the end.
Well, we do need to do something with avarice.
Yeah.
Avarice
he's-
just needs cure blindness, so it's not going to be very expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like raising them from the dead or.
No, it's not like
There's something that might be at turostem, or is that another trip to Ciudadanos?
you can get it at turostem.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
He wants his 2020 vision back.
All right. So,
Yes.
you guys were only in the dungeon for about an hour, so you could actually immediately begin to make your way back if you'd like.
It was a shopping trip. It was just
And it's gone. You just ran for an hour, and now you can head back if you'd like.
Nice.
let's do
We
it.
can hang out.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
no reason to hang.
Go get the apricots on the way out.
Okay, guys, you make it clear of the forest. Without those were I don't know why I appeared as Castinus, but I just rolled the encounter check. So you guys make your way out of the forest, and you're basically on the in the Outlands territory near turostem. So next session we'll start on turostem.
Okay.
Great. Yep. And you pick away. You're like, let's get some more fruit.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta eat up on the apricots while we have them.
Oh, really good
Yep.
apricot.
Yep. No problem. You make it back to turostem without issue.
Excellent.
Okay. Wow.
Should we roll for to see if Lucon sticks around this time, or should we wait?
Oh yeah, we can roll for
2 weeks.
Lucon as well. Go ahead. Yeah. So
I'm a little bit.
so he took a calamity, so that's a -1. And his morale is currently what? 0. This one. So roll 2d6, see what he does.
And I guess we need to do the same for
Oh no!
avarice.
Dude.
Oh man. All right. So
That's so hard to keep him.
Yeah, that was a really bad roll.
Yeah, it was. That was
Yeah.
horrible.
So that drops to it. So he got a 3. So let's see what he does. All right. That is a resignation. He says, I bear you no ill will. It's just too dangerous for me. I think I'd rather the safer life of a tracker.
I understand. Fare you well. It stinks.
And avarice. So avarice's loyalty is at +3 right now to you guys because he's one of your brothers. So go ahead and roll.
Okay.
2d6 +3.
Oh,
Wow, you guys roll terrible whenever 2d6 comes up. It's so funny. All right. So Avarice has grudging loyalty. He sees no better options at the moment. So his loyalty drops to 2.
All
right.
Still all right. Still all right.
Okay. Well, we'll break there. Great session. Well thought. A little bit of you were in a moment with that hobgoblin situation, but you brought up the reinforcements, and they got trapped by the braziers of fire that made them illuminated on the way out. That was a bad place for them to be in. So.
And I will just say
we had a little
this.
sloppy camp discipline there.
Yeah, we always maintain the rear guard from now on.
Yep.
Well, we should have pulled them all into the next room. Leaving the mules out guarding the in the rear guard was sloppy.
Yeah.
So.
Good seeing y'all.
Yeah.
Good to see you too.
Yep.
Have a good night,
y'all.
everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you later.